Welcome to the 2016 NFLHC Draft. I am your host, Dean Craig Pelt. Alongside me, I have the fabulous Slinky Jr.,
Heyo.
Jimbo, and Alien UFO. Welcome. So let's just get straight into things before we start here as we wait for Saluna to announce the pick in a couple minutes. So first, guys, who do you think goes number one overall?
CJ Logan.
I'm going with Weger, the quarterback.
Yeah.
Really?
I think Weir goes first, but I really want Lewis to go first.
Actually,
Whoa.
I think it would be beneficial for the Jets to take Curtis
It's the
Lewis,
second time I've
but
done
I don't think they trade up for the first overall pick to draft him. I don't see why they would do that.
Yeah, see, that's what I don't get either. I think it's got to be
Guys,
Devereaux.
I'll tell you, we wanted a winner in college, and this CJ Logan guy, he was a real winner. Led Clemson to be ranked. I mean, look at Devereaux. LSU was 7-5 last year. Wisconsin, I mean, they were on the edge of the rankings. Clemson was up there. It's got to be Logan.
So let's move on to what do you guys think about this Todd Lester kid? Now, I think a lot of people are going away from scramblers due to the failure of Aaron Kotar on the Jets. So what do you guys think of Todd Lester?
I think he's going to be one of the top scramblers in the league. Maybe not as good as Alan Taylor, but probably better than Alexander Williams. I would say he's probably the second best scrambler in the league.
I think he's closer to Alexander Williams than Taylor, though, for sure.
Really? From the combine I saw, I think Todd Lester might actually wind up being better than Alan Taylor. I think he's a better version of Alan Taylor, just from what I saw. Now, that could turn out to be wrong.
I don't think
that
he
combine
doesn't
really
have the college stats that Alan Taylor did.
Hey, stats aren't everything. And he didn't have a coach for a while, too. So we have to take that into.
I don't think he's a top 10 pick. I think he's a first-round pick. But
Yeah.
I think he's going to fall a little bit just because there's animosity towards scramblers in the NFL.
Yeah, he could end up
There's
in the
only a
second
couple
round.
teams that even use the scrambler as their number one quarterback. And I don't think any of them made the playoffs this year.
Yeah. I think that's right. So what's going on with these trades? Okay, so I just want to talk about the one first that really confused me. What are the Colts doing at number 2? And is it Mosey Bartos? Because to me, that's the only thing I can fathom.
But I don't see why you trade up to number 2 for Mosey Bartos. To be honest.
See, I don't get it either.
Online.
But I think Mosey Bartos might be like the best wide receiver we've seen since Walt Peck. That's my opinion. It could be very, very wrong.
He's like 5'7" or whatever.
I agree. He's going to be a monster, but he is going to be limited by his size. That's for sure.
Well, I mean, look, Bartos is good.
I could see them going cornerback because there's a lot of really good cornerbacks. But
why would you trade up for a cornerback?
It's a good point.
Like,
There's a lot of
like
good
don't
ones.
have to trade up for a cornerback though.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
It doesn't really make sense.
Bartos. Look at Bartos, right? He's 5'8", and honestly, he has the really good vertical. We saw he had top 5 vert in all of the combine, but at the same time, personally, I struggle to take a 5'8" receiver that high, especially number 2. I feel like it's a bit much of a risk, even if he was amazing in college, which he was. Just 5'8" feels like it could be limiting in the NFL.
Well, that's definitely the concern about Bartos. Size is definitely his biggest weakness, but he's one of the fastest people that's ever come out. Like you said, he's got that amazing vertical. He's very agile. He catches a lot of balls. He's got a lot of yards in college. Had a great college career. So he's definitely worthy of a first-round pick. Maybe not second overall, but I mean,
yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot to trade for a short receiver. I don't know.
I don't really think the Colts have any other needs that would be a top 10 worthy pick. So I think it's gotta be.
They could go offensive tackle, but I mean,
again, I don't think that's something you can trade up for. But yeah. Giants got 2 of these top 10 picks. They actually have a lot of picks this year. lot of high picks. What do you guys think about them?
So is the Jets pick in right now?
Yeah, pick is in, but it's not
Okay.
announced yet. Pick has been in for like over a day because he wanted it in 24 hours before.
Oh, I mean, no, I was just looking at the clock. Oh, wait, yeah, it hasn't even started, I guess.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
I was asking about the Giants. I said they have 2 top 10 picks. That
Oh, yeah,
don't
the Giants.
pick today. I think they have 5 picks in today's version.
Yeah, the Giants have a lot of draft picks, and they're really going to be a good team next year if they do this draft right, and I think they will. I mean, this is a weaker draft still, but the Giants have enough picks. They have a ridiculous amount of picks. I mean, if you search their name in the wiki, I'm pretty sure the Giants comes up like 38 times. So, I mean, it's pretty bad. They just got a lot.
And they got one of the best one of the best young quarterbacks. Thomas Wheeler. He didn't show a huge upside last year, but he also didn't have a lot around him. So
yeah.
I think they're trying. I think they're going to draft a receiver.
If Bartos isn't taken at number 2, I think he goes in them at 7. That's my prediction.
I agree. I think he'd be a great fit on the Giants if he makes it there. I think the Giants also need to build up their offensive line, so I wouldn't be surprised if they pick a tackle or a guard with one of those top 10.
All right then. So, looks like the first pick should be in. Clock just started, and so we may see the commissioner come to the front soon. Any thoughts, guys? Any final thoughts on who you think will be picked?
I think it's Uyghur. I think it makes the most sense. I think he's better than Devereaux.
See, I don't know. I'm hesitant to say he's better than Devereaux. I do think he is very good, though. But I don't think we can take him first over Devereaux. It's just kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't take either of them first, to be honest. But
I agree. I'm a little hesitant, but I mean, Devereaux is a guy who's been nominated for the Heisman 2 times. He won a national championship. I don't think he'll have any problem adjusting to the NFL, and I think he's a pretty good quarterback. So I think he might be worthy. At least his what's the word? He's got the caliber of a number 1 overall draft pick. You know, his
I think
record.
Either of these guys, if it's either Uyghur or Devereaux, they're both gonna be good. So I don't think it's either one would be a bad pick.
Yeah.
And like you said, Devereaux has the better college stats, but I think Uyghur might have a little bit more upside, which is why I picked him.
All right. Looks like the commissioner's coming to the podium, and we will see the pick.
Okay. Welcome to the 2016 NFL Draft, guys. It's good to have you all back for our 3rd edition of this. With that, I won't mess around because the Jets pick's been in for a while. With the first overall pick of the 2016 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Eric Uyghur, quarterback, Wisconsin.
Yeah, I think
there we go.
I think it's very
My knock was terribly off.
So what does this mean for Kotar? I guess he's done.
Oh yeah, he's done. I don't think no one's gonna trade for him. I don't think.
I will tell you guys that if we cannot trade Kotar, Ontario Smith is going to be our backup this year. And so if we cannot trade Kotar, if no one wants him, we will try converting him to another position.
Oh,
That'd be very interesting.
Don't do my boy like that.
We feel like he would be a very good tight end.
Yeah, I feel like that's what they said with Tebow too. That didn't work out.
He never played tight end though.
That's true.
How tall is Kotar?
He's 6'6". He's 6'6", 225, so he does have good size.
He's a wide receiver though, I think, more than
Wasn't his 40 time really bad though? I mean, I guess his tight end it doesn't really matter, but
I mean, Mike Triplett had a pretty bad 40 time too. That didn't stop him.
true.
Yeah, I think what we've realized based on this draft and last draft is that Kotar was really good in college because he had amazing receivers and offensive line.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, Ohio State was ridiculously talented.
So I'll talk about why we picked Uyghur a little bit. So we wanted to trade up for a quarterback, mostly because we have three really good QBs in our division. We have LeCount, we have Taylor, and we have Brian Brown. And it's hard to compete if we're waiting on Aaron Kotar to develop for like 5 years. And so we figured we wanted a QB, and we liked Wiegert and we liked Devereaux in this draft. And so we scouted both of them. And we decided before the Combine to trade up. We didn't see Combine results before we traded up. And so looking at the Combine results, I don't know if we would have traded up to number 1 again, but at the same time, I also don't regret trading up to number 1 because I still think Wiegert's a good QB. If you look at his weapons last year, he didn't have anything, and he put up 28 TDs and 4 interceptions. So I think he'll be a very good QB in the NFL. I don't think he'll be the best QB in the NFL ever. I don't know if he's worth the number 1 overall draft pick necessarily, but in a draft like this, I think it's worth it to go up there and take Wiegert. I don't know what you guys think, but that's my opinion on it.
Yeah, I sort of feel the same way, I guess. Like, I wouldn't take him first overall, but I think he's the best quarterback in the class.
Personally, I would have gone the opposite. I would have tried to build an extremely strong defense to counter those quarterbacks, but that's just my feeling.
There was someone.
If you had Alvis Brum and Curtis Lewis on the same line, those quarterbacks would have a tough time.
Yeah,
Well, see,
That would have definitely been more fun to watch.
I mean, it would have been fun, but you know,
But yeah, it's not
it's
right.
the same type of thing. Like, you know, why would you trade up for 2-star defensive ends? Well, that would be good. Our team still is going nowhere if we can't get production on offense. And we lost Keel, so we couldn't do the triple option, so I don't know what we would have done this year. So I think it was the right move to go up and get a QB. But anyway, it looks like the second pick is in, so let's go to the commissioner.
With the second pick of the 2016 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select wide receiver Mosi Bartos, Boston College. The New York Giants are now on the clock.
I was right.
Oh, I'm 2 for 2 so far on these picks.
Yeah, this is a decent pick. I'm hesitant to say it's a great pick by the Colts. I don't know if I would have traded up for Mosi Bartos. I do really like Mosi, though. I really think he's one of the best wide receivers we've seen. He's been amazing ever since he started in his career, I'm pretty sure. I think we've always been hyping Mosi Bartos as one of those guys. He's been there since like Sterling Brown as well. So this is a solid pick for the Colts.
Yeah, and they do have a good quarterback to get him the ball too. Greg Biera has been.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah,
though
I wouldn't have taken a quarterback here if I was ever anything with that.
they kind of wavered on who they
Really?
start the first 2 years. He's been pretty good.
What did the Colts give up to get the second pick?
I don't know if it was that much. I've seen like a lot of trades this year where it's just been like a first and a fourth to move up, and that's kind of weird to me because usually we see like a bunch of picks to move up, but I guess
think
that's just
that's
the quality of this
because
draft.
This draft is considered by a lot of people to be a little weaker than the past couple drafts.
Yeah, they traded
the
up
top,
6
at
spots
least.
using a 4th-round pick to the number 2 pick, so it's not like they gave up a lot.
Yeah, I guess I make it better.
Okay, guys, who do you think goes to the Giants here?
Well, now that Mosi's gone,
Curtis Lewis,
I
right?
think
they got to take Lewis.
you got to take Lewis. Who else could it be?
It could be Jeremy Miller.
Oh, that's kind of a well, I wouldn't say it's a reach. I'll get into that at some point, I'm sure. But I think the Giants are taking. I think Lambeau might take Jeremy Miller. I feel like he might go to Seattle, just because he's one of Lambeau's guys, and he's very talented. I love Jeremy Miller.
The only thing about Jeremy Miller is the size, but that's it. It's just the size.
I don't care about
Same
the
with
size.
Bartos.
My thing about Jeremy Miller is, and he had 14 sacks, which led college football last year, and he's a run-stop defensive tackle. That's incredible to me.
Well, so, I mean, Alvis Brum is also run stops. I don't think pass stop is necessarily the key factor in a pass rusher. Sorry to interrupt you, but we got the 3rd pick in, so let's go to the commissioner.
With the 3rd pick of the 2016 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select defensive end Curtis Lewis, Texas. The Minnesota Vikings are now on the clock.
Yeah,
Right.
again, not very surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this Vikings pick is going to be our first cornerback off the board.
You think so?
Yeah. I think it's going to be Matt Cowan or Justin Davis, one of those guys.
For the Vikings?
Yeah, I think they're going Dennis Nilland.
They're going Dennis Nealand.
See,
I don't like
if
it.
you look at his production in college, I don't know if he's worth the number 4 overall pick. Even
I
at
don't
an
think he
82
is.
overall.
I don't think he is, but that's what I heard.
Fair enough.
And the
I'd be
Vikings,
hesitant.
as bad as their cornerbacks like are rating wise, the Vikings had a pretty good pass defense last year.
Yeah, they did. It's kind of weird to me. Like the Vikings had a pretty damn good. They were like top 10, I think, in pass defense. They have like no one back there. So I mean, I don't know if it's a coaching thing or if the Vikings are just lucky as crap. But you know,
All right, just so you know, we have a quick trade to announce. The Atlanta Falcons traded their 3rd and 5th round picks, number 62 and number 116, to the Giants for their 2nd round pick, number 41 overall. Not that important for now, but I just thought I'd point it out.
All right.
All right, so anyone else have any predictions for this pick? I don't know if it'll be a corner. I could see them like
I think you trade up for
completely out of
corner.
the blue. This could be the first like completely out of the blue pick, I think.
I'm pretty sure it's Dennis Nyland or Nealand or however
Yeah, I agree with
pronounced.
Dean. I'm pretty sure it's Nilland.
I'm actually gonna say it's gonna be a surprise, and they might go for an offensive tackle. They might go for someone like Blake Pyle.
What? I don't know because they already have Mackenzie Woods though, and he's okay. But I don't think they're drafting another. I don't think they're drafting an offensive tackle.
Didn't they have Jim Otto at left tackle last
Yeah,
year?
they traded him.
Yeah, and they traded him away because Jim
Yeah, I
Otto
know.
sucks.
They could go. I
Oh,
could
and
also
I don't-
see them going for if they want to have the best linebacking core of all time, they could take Kenyatta Henderson.
And also, I'm just going to say, I don't think they're going to go corner here either because they traded for Joel Prince this offseason too. They traded Jim Otto for Joel Prince. So,
could
you
they
know,
be
I think
going
it's going to
for-
be.
For Jace
Dennis
Brown, the
Nyland.
guard. All right.
No.
Well, I guess speculation's over because the pick is in. Let's go to the commissioner one more.
With the 4th overall pick of the 2016 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select defensive end Dennis Nyland, USC. The Atlanta Falcons are now on the clock.
Just listen to us, man. We know what we're talking about.
I was just trying to throw a wrench in the boring box. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess if we all just agreed on every pick every time, it wouldn't.
It'd be
Yeah, I know
boring.
that wouldn't be interesting at all.
Yeah, Dean, stop being stupid. Yeah.
Anyways, but no, I don't know if this is a bad pick. But just there's 3 other DEs that I really like in this class, and it's Ron Rice, Yul Smith, and Kendrick Drowns. And I don't know if they would have been available where the Vikings were, but I don't know if I would have. I don't know if you trade up for a DE here. It's kind of weird in this draft to trade up for a DE.
I just feel like Nyland, myself, I just don't think he's worth trading up for.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think he's along the same tier of Drowns and Smith and Ron Rice.
Yeah, even
See,
in
I
the 90s
disagree.
overall.
Yeah, I think Lewis and Newland are the 2 like best Ds in this class, and then there's like a big gap, and then there's the rest of them. That's how I feel about it.
I don't think it's a big gap. I think that front tier is really close together, and then there's the big gap right after that. And I include Bill Young in that. I don't like Bill Young at all, in my personal opinion. He does nothing for me.
He had a
What do you guys
decent
think
year
of
in
the
college
Falcons
last
here?
year, and he's more of a 3-4D.
Yeah, I think he's just. I feel like he'll be okay, but I don't think he'll be great. I think the other guys are great, and I think he's just okay.
What do you guys think of the Falcons here?
I
I
have
have no idea what the Falcons are doing.
I-
I honestly could not tell you.
I haven't looked at their depth chart, but my guess is they might be the first team to take an offensive lineman. That might be why they traded ahead of Cincy.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
thinking Blake Pyle. That's what I would guess.
I would not be surprised if they took Akili Wallace, but I don't.
Yeah, see,
think
that's what I was thinking too. I think it might be a running back.
They have a
But
lot
that
of
seems- you shouldn't
running
trade up
backs.
for a
though.
running back here, though.
They do have a couple running backs, but none of them have really been
Yeah.
Good.
So they could be taking Achille here.
I think Akili Wallace is going to be on the tier of Von Abraham and Chester Henson myself. So I think it would be a good pick, but for anybody actually.
Yeah.
I could also see them going for a wide receiver because They don't really have anyone
But
that
who would
stands
go
out
for
there.
wide receiver here?
Um,
I mean, that's a reach, isn't
I think
it?
they might have
A reach to trade up
Wide
for
receiver
Barkley.
here is
Would have been
very
here.
weak, I think. I mean, Richard Frazier was pretty good. Top 5, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where the Falcons go here because I honestly have no idea what they're trading up for.
I feel like it's important to look who they traded ahead of. If they're trading ahead of Cincinnati, my guess is that they're going for an offensive lineman.
Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah, that might not be crazy. Their offensive lineman, looking at them right now, their best one is a 70 overall, and then they have a bunch of 50s. So that's
Yeah.
cool.
And I mean, Fields was good last year at QB,
Fields was
so
pretty
they're not
good.
going for QB.
Oh, I mean, do you think about taking Devereaux here?
Nah. If you look at Fields' stats last year, he wasn't really bad. I think
No, yeah, Fields. You definitely don't take Devereaux when you have Fields, I don't think.
Yeah,
it's either
Achilles.
It's either Achilles because they're really sick of shit running backs, or they want to build up an offensive line to protect
Yeah.
Fields. One of the two.
Yeah.
Are any of them even on? Are they on right now?
I don't know.
And Atlanta has 3 minutes left on the clock, and they still have not submitted a pick, so they might be deliberating.
Where did Devereaux go?
I think Devereaux falls to one of the expansion teams. He'll either.
The
I think
49ers?
San Francisco. Yeah,
I think
they did not
49ers are going to take a QB.
quarterback. They did not take a quarterback.
49ers might take Lester, though.
Expansion draft.
True.
But I don't know.
Quasar or Quasar, or however you pronounce his name, is the Cal coach, and he saw firsthand how good Lester was for him.
Oh.
It could be that. And looking at his combine, I like Lester's combine better than Devereaux, although that's not necessarily the full factor.
I could see the Saints taking Devereaux as well. I know there's Neo is a huge LSU fan.
All right, looks like the pick has come in, and we will go to the commissioner.
With the 5th overall pick of the 2016 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select running back Achilles Wallace, Florida State. The Cincinnati Bengals are now on the clock.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
I kind of called that.
Yeah, I was halfway expecting it myself, but I don't know how I feel about this. I think Achilles good, but I'm a little.
I think Achilles Wallace is the best player in the class.
Really?
Yeah.
Surprising. Nah, I feel like talent-wise, it's probably Curtis Lewis, but Achilles has an argument with how good he was last year. I think it's a good pick for Atlanta. Atlanta doesn't have any star power on their team. Can you name one player on Atlanta besides David Wilburn that's like good? The answer is no. I think someone like Achilles can come in and fix that.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because if you think about it, the first year the reason Atlanta was good was because they were good everywhere. But now the problem is all those good players are just right? So picking a player like Achilles Wallace does help out.
Yeah.
And if you
yeah.
Never mind. I'm not going to say what I was just about to say.
All right, guys. So how quickly do the Bengals send in this pick for Blake Pyle here?
I could see them going for Jace Brown, but
No, they're not going for Jace Brown.
They were starting
traded
four
for
offensive tackles last year, so it's basically got to be Blake Pyle.
Yeah.
But if they don't pick Blake Pyle, I'm pretty sure I'm just going to sit here laughing my ass off, though. Unless they decide Matt Bogle is worth the 6'1", who knows?
He's pretty friggin' strong though. He's short. He's got stubby arms. Okay, Matt's got stubby arms. We all agree.
One thing you got to consider about these tackles, and somebody pointed this out to me the other day, is that two of the best tackles in the league right now are both 6'2". So
like Marcellus Patterson or whatever, he's like 6'2", 328.
Yeah, and then the Raiders left tackle is also short, 6'2", and he was all-pro both years.
All right, sorry to cut it short, but it looks like the Bengals have submitted their pick, and we will go to the commissioner.
With the 6th overall pick of the 2016 NFL Draft, the Cincinnati Bengals select offensive tackle Blake Pyle, USC. The New York Giants are now on the clock.
Well,
that's a good pick.
That was not a surprise, really.
Yeah, protect Blake Shell. Even if you don't think he's a good quarterback, he still needs protection.
Yeah. All right, we got the Giants up again.
Who do they go here? I mean, most of this was the thing I think they probably had their mind set on. They go offensive tackle here with like Matt Bogle or.
If I were them, I'd go receiver here.
Which
receiver is worth the number 7 overall pick?
I mean, they have enough picks in like the second round where I think they can target like Jim Umanura. And that's a guy I think he's probably better than Cap Christian or Richard Frazier. And I don't think you pick a guy here, a wide receiver.
Well, Giants aren't
there's
going
like a lot of ways. Yeah, the Giants can go a lot of ways here. Did they end up getting Sean Evans or Elvis Williams?
No. San Diego.
Okay. So they don't have a running back now, do they?
Wait, aren't you San Diego?
Okay.
I'm not San Diego.
Oh, I thought I was talking to Weiss. Yeah. So
maybe the Giants go Kenyatta Henderson here. Maybe. I don't know. It's not like I have a giant in this room telling me the pick right now. That'd be ridiculous.
By the way, sorry about the wiki. I messed something up. It should be fixed.
Oh. Okay.
All right. So I guess we don't have to talk about the Giants pick much longer. Looks like the pick has come in. We're going to go to the commissioner.
With the 7th overall pick of the 2016 draft, the New York Giants select outside linebacker Kenyatta Henderson, Ole Miss. The San Francisco 49ers are now on the clock.
I think that's the first real surprise we've had.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This is a pretty decent pick for the Giants, I think. Kenyatta Henderson is a really good player.
I think it's a
I
little.
just feel like he's the safe pick, Like, he's not great. He's not Derek Martin, and he's not Tyrone Jones. But he's not gonna bust on you either. He's gonna be a solid player for a while. But I guess when you have 3 first-round picks, you might as well do that.
I think we gotta identify ourselves because I think people.
Oh yeah, I don't think people know who Slinky is.
Yeah.
I'm Slinky. Hello, everyone.
I'm Dean. I think people should know that by now.
I'm Saluna. So I'm in Jumbo.
All right, we got the 49ers up now.
Devereaux.
Expansion team. I could
Or
see this being
Leicester.
Devereaux or Leicester.
It's got to be Devereaux or Leicester. You know what? I'm gonna say it could be a surprise. You could see Ryan Clark go here.
No, that's a reach.
No way.
It's a reach, but if you like a quarterback, you will go and reach for them. I think that if they wanted Ryan Clark, hold on, listen. If they wanted Ryan Clark, and they thought he was good, and they didn't have a first-round pick besides number 2, and they know that we're not taking Ryan Clark, why not trade down? Trade down with the Giants. Come, wait, see who's picked ahead of you, and Ryan Clark will still probably be there. If they wanted him. I'm not saying they do. I'm saying if they wanted him, that's what they would do.
No, I don't think Ryan Clark's their guy. If I think anything, they might pick like an offensive lineman, just because there's a couple good ones, just to protect a guy if you're picking him later. It really depends with what you're content with.
2 guards, 2 tackles in the center.
Oh,
so
seriously?
They're not
good. They're not very
players,
good, are they?
but they're like okay starters.
Yeah, because I remember I was looking at the 49ers roster, and it's just okay. It's not great like anywhere at all. So I think they need that guy to propel them. I don't know who that is.
If it were a lineman, I would definitely take a tackle.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Leicester. It's going to be Leicester, but it could be the surprise with Clark. That's my prediction. I know I sound absolutely crazy, but that's what I think. And so the pick is in.
I'm gonna be shocked if it's Clark.
Let's go to Saluna.
With the 8th pick of the 2016 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select quarterback Todd Lester, California. The New Orleans Saints are now on the clock.
Interesting. So we got.
To be honest, I have no idea how good Todd Lester is going to be.
Yeah, I think Todd Lester's going to be pretty okay.
Yeah.
I feel like he'll be better than Kotar, probably a little bit worse than Alan Taylor, but I think he might be at Alan Taylor tier.
Yeah, I'd say he's probably in between Alexander Williams and Alan Taylor. Maybe not even as good as Alexander Williams. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, now what do the Saints do here? Offensive line?
Considering how one of their players dies every year, I think they probably will.
Now I know Neo loves Devereaux. He's here. I know they don't really like Kareem that much because they tried to trade him. I think.
Yeah, they're not sold on Kareem at all, from what I've.
And they do like Aaron Devereaux. Is there a chance Devereaux goes to the New Orleans Saints here?
I think it could be, but it would surprise me very much.
Yeah, I think there's a chance, but I also think it'd be a mistake.
It'd be like the Dolphins having Will Thompson last year and taking Brian Brown.
Yeah.
Could work out, but at the same time, I don't think Devereaux's as good as Brian Brown.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and Kareem's better than Will Thompson too. But I mean, it would be an interesting thing to see.
I just feel like Kareem's really average. You look at New Orleans' roster; it's just really average. Taking a QB like Devereaux is not going to take them anywhere. I think you just got to take an offensive lineman who's going to be good, build from there.
If they take a lineman, it's going to be the guard.
Yeah, Chase Brown. Is he still available?
Yeah, he is.
Oh wow.
I wouldn't take a guard yet.
Every single time you mock guards really high, but then the problem becomes teams don't value guards that much.
Yeah, that's true.
I wasn't here for the draft last year, and I had Farmer like 7 or 8 on the board that I left for Inspiral and Acewolf or Inspiral. And what ended up happening, I was surprised when I came back and I saw that we had taken Farmer because I figured he would be going top 10. But I think what always happens is teams just don't value guards highly enough to take them that high.
Yeah, it's just not a sexy pick. It's just.
I don't think that's. I think that's wrong though. I think guards are just as important as the other positions on the line, except for maybe center.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're important, but just like no one wants to like draft a guard. Like no one wants that to be their first pick.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we got a guard, whatever, you know.
Oh, Neo just posted Devereaux Forever in the shout box. I don't know what that means.
I don't think Neo's the GM though, is he?
He's the owner.
Who's the GM of the Saints?
Franz is the GM of the Saints, and then Bingo's head coach.
I think they run it more like a committee, though. I don't think anyone of them does one job.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I mean, we run it like a committee basically too, so I'd figure a lot of teams would do that.
Mm-hmm.
I run a strict dictatorship.
How do you pronounce the last name HSU? Curtis Husu?
I think it's just Sue.
Yeah, the H is
Sue. Yeah, Sue.
What? Yeah, it's a terrible name to pronounce, though. I can't wait to get to the NFL draft and see how they attempt to pronounce that. It's... yeah, that's true. Saluna posted in the chat that Wen is just pronounced like Win, so...
Yeah.
N-G-U-Y-N.
It's Win.
Like, in Guyan, it's pronounced Wen.
If you know
I'll never travel to Japan.
That's right.
And so we are now half an hour into the 2016 NFLHC draft. We're 8 picks in, and Saints are on the clock. Guys, how much longer do you think the Saints are going to take to make this pick?
I think they're probably deliberating whether or not they want to take Aaron Devereaux here.
My guess is that Neo would be pushing for Devereaux, and that Franz and Bingo both.
Oh, and there's a trade.
Has there been a trade?
Yeah.
I believe there's been a trade.
Yes. It looks like the Saints have also traded up for the Jags' first rounder at number 12, 3 picks from now. That could be why they were waiting. Maybe they were waiting.
So now
to
they're
see if they
definitely
could
taking
take Devereaux
Devereaux.
later. Yeah, they're taking Devereaux now and then taking the Jags. Jags pick to take an O-lineman.
It's kind of smart actually.
You know,
I
I
like
still
that
think
move.
it's a bad idea to take Devereaux.
I agree with you, Wise. It just doesn't make sense to me. Just, I don't know how. Like, I looked at Devereaux's combine. It's just so average. I wanted to take.
No, it's a good combine. I saw the combine too. That's a pretty damn good combine.
I mean, you look at him. He's just a game manager. He's Kareem Taylor. He's Kareem Taylor 2.0.
Not everyone is Nick Hall, guys.
All right, with that,
I will never forgive you for that.
We'll now see who the pick is. The pick is in. Let's go to the Commissioner Saluna.
With the 9th overall pick of the 2016 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Aaron Devereaux, quarterback, LSU. The Seattle Seahawks are now on the clock.
Well, I don't like it. I don't like it.
3 quarterbacks all off the board.
Devereaux stays in Louisiana.
I just don't like it. I also think their trade they made, which by the way was their second rounder and cornerback Joshua Sloan for the Jags first. I don't like that trade either.
I think it's an okay trade.
I think
I
it's
kinda
an
like
alright
it.
trade. I don't think Joshua Sloan is really that good.
Yeah, I don't
Does
think
that mean
so.
they're taking a corner next pick though?
I considered him trading for him, but his contract is pretty big for what his production's been. So I don't think it's that bad of a trade myself.
I don't think they're going corner with this next pick. I think they're going to go guard to protect Devereaux because I'm pretty sure they need a guard. So they'll take Sheriff or Jace Brown, whichever one's available. Depends what happens in front of them.
I agree with you. I mean, you take a franchise QB, you can't just take defense the next pick. It doesn't work that way. It's not going to work for your team if you don't. I mean, they have Kevin Richards as running back who's average, and they have receiver Kevin Richards. No, receiver, what's his name? I can't remember. But they have like an average receiver as number one. You need someone who can come in and be really good. I don't know if that guy's in this draft necessarily, so I think you just take a lineman.
Yeah.
Greg Newman is a receiver, and he's an 85, which is pretty good, but that's after 2 years of progression.
Yeah. Kevin Richards is an 85, and Newman's an 85. They're all none of them are like amazing.
I think their offense is pretty strong. Their defense is questionable.
Well, now that they traded Sloan, it's probably especially questionable now.
Well, remember, this is a draft with a lot of talent at cornerback, so
Yeah,
definitely replace
they can afford that.
Sloan. And they do
That is
have
also
Bob
true.
Brewer at cornerback, who's really good.
By the way, also, I guess we didn't mention it as the storyline, but Devereaux staying in Louisiana.
Yeah, I said it. But yeah, no, I like the pick. Gives
Oh, and also
Dreams.
Lester is also staying in Central or Northern California.
Oh yeah.
So, Seahawks, you think this is Jerry May Miller?
I don't know. I guess so. I mean, I don't know if Lambeau would do that. But Jeremy Miller is a great football player.
I think he's fine. I think you
Yeah,
can build around Jeremy Miller.
I don't know. I mean, I kind of agree with you, but I don't know.
Looks like this may just be the draft of people taking whoever they had in college, so it wouldn't be surprising if it's Miller.
Or just who they like.
Okay, it
Just,
looks like we have a trade. The Cowboys have traded up to this pick. The Cowboys traded their they traded their first-round pick at number 16 and their third-round pick at number 64 for Seattle's first-round pick here and Seattle's fourth-round pick at number 81. So the Dallas Cowboys are now on the clock.
Who are they
Looks like
taking?
the pick is in, but we will let Saluna input that before we go to him. Any thoughts on the Cowboys trade up and who they could be taking?
Maybe a corner? I don't really know.
Do they
I'm
need?
not really sure what their biggest need.
Offensive line help, maybe? Oh yeah, they definitely need offensive line help, I think. Maybe Jace Brown.
Well, they already have Justin Campbell from last year, so I think
Oh yeah, that's true too.
if they are taking a lineman, it would be a guard, although I think that's also a questionable move.
I would say probably Jace Brown.
I'm really surprised
That's my
that
guess.
there hasn't been a cornerback taken yet.
I'm not. It's deep
No one ever
cornerback
takes
class.
cornerbacks high.
People think they
I
can
figured
wait
they'd
for the
fall.
cornerbacks, so that would be why.
Yeah.
All right, looks like we'll go to Saluna now, and we'll hear what the pick is.
With the 10th pick of the 2016 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select guard Jace Brown, Florida. The Carolina Panthers are now on the clock.
I think that's a good pick for them. They don't have a guard on their roster at the moment. I just looked. So
One more announcement before we go. There's been another trade in the first round. The Packers
Good
have
lord.
traded down with the Seahawks. The Seahawks trade their first and seventh for the Packers' first and fifth, although that won't come up for a few more picks. And the Panthers have 2 picks in the next 3 picks, so let's discuss what they could be doing here.
I
think they're going to go defensive end for one for sure. Maybe defensive end for both. That'd be weird.
Some defense here. Yeah, I agree. Defense is. I could see this being Jeremy Miller as well, but.
I mean, they could get a defensive end and Jeremy Miller if they wanted.
Yeah.
The only thing they don't need is cornerback. on defense.
Yeah, that's the only thing they don't need.
I could see it be anything on the defensive line or linebackers, safeties even.
Their safeties.
I'm not sure if the
terrible.
safeties are worth first-round pick in this draft.
Tavion
Yeah, I don't
Oliphant.
think so.
Oliphant, whatever his fucking name is.
Von Olhoffen.
He's in the hype video. But yeah, I think unless he really wants to feed Skaggs to give him 2 wide receivers just to appease Skaggs,
Yeah,
I think it's
I
gonna
would
be,
not be surprised if that's something they did.
it's either going to be another lineman or probably defense, though.
I'd say Ron Rice, and then with the second pick, well, actually, you know what? I think they might have to go guard here, just because the Saints will probably try to take Sheriff if they don't, and then take Ron Rice with the next pick.
Could be.
I think that'd be the smart move. Fill up that line.
Sorry, I'm just updating the wiki, so you guys need to talk it out.
No, that's fine.
Looks like the pick is in, so let's go to Saluna. Sorry about that.
All right.
With the 11th pick of the 2016 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Ron Rice, defensive end, Michigan. The New Orleans Saints are now on the clock.
Yeah, I don't think that one's very surprising.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have went with him there. I think they might, unless they're gonna go defense again, because I feel like they need offensive line help too.
If they would have gone offense, I think they would have done it ahead of New Orleans. That's just my opinion, though.
Yeah, I mean that's what I think too. But I feel like they need help.
Could be.
Yeah, I'm just not really a fan of Ron Rice. I know Sophus is probably gonna kill me for this, and I know I'm a Michigan State guy, so maybe that's part of it. But he just never seemed like, if you really look at his stats, it's not that impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't he have the second most sacks in college history?
His
Yeah,
combine
he's the
was
most.
also
He's played
Yeah.
like 3 years. It's just-
Brum's combine was average. Go look at Brum's combine.
I mean, he could end up being really good, but like he had his most like sacks in a year was like 7 or something. So I want to say 7.
Really? I thought it was more than that.
Yeah, he's been playing for 3 years, which is why he's got like a lot. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Never anything like amazing in 1 year. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Sorry, still updating the wiki. Trades everywhere.
So this is Sheriff, right?
Yeah, I think it's probably Lamont Sheriff.
Yeah, that's what I would do if I were.
Yeah.
So I guess let's talk about what the Panthers are going to do with their next pick. What do you think? Who do you think the Panthers are going for? Because they drafted 2 corners last time, so I don't think it's a corner.
Yeah, not a corner.
I would take Jeremy Miller, put him right next to Ron Rice.
Yeah, that'd be
strong
scary. That would be very scary.
That would turn
That'd
around
be
their
sad.
defense overnight, basically. In my opinion.
Yeah. I don't know what else they could do. I think they might need an inside linebacker, and I think Tom Henderson, the guy at Iowa, I think that's his name. I think he might be a good fit for them. If I'm recalling correctly, I think they scouted him too.
I'm just going to make a quick announcement. I just updated the wiki. Please let me know if I messed anything up in terms of trades, especially if you made a trade. I might have messed something up. Thanks. Okay.
Is the pick in or what?
No, not in
It
yet.
takes so long.
We're still waiting.
Yeah.
Panthers, if we're still talking about them, their only defensive tackle is a 73 run stop, Terrence Adams.
Oh.
So I could definitely see them taking Jeremy Miller with their next
But
pick.
do you go defensive? Well, I guess Cade seems to like to do his picks in pairs anyways, but I don't know if you go defensive line. I don't know if I'd do that.
Also, I gotta say,
Think about the Colts. They have a really dominant defensive line, and
But they didn't really do that with like the draft picks. I mean, they had 2 kind of average guys that they had, Quinn Smith and Galbraith, and they just like stepped up big.
Well, I think they had easily the most dominant defensive line. It might have not have been from their draft picks, like they traded for one of them, but still, it was very effective. If they had a better coach, I think they easily could have gotten to the playoffs.
And we are still waiting for the Saints to make their pick. They take longer than the other teams, I think.
I don't know if anyone saw this, but Ape is saying the Packers traded their next year's.
Yeah, I saw it. I'm putting it in.
All right, make sure.
All right, Ape, it's been updated. That's my bad. Sorry about that. So we've got 3 minutes left, and New Orleans is still sucking as much time as they can because they hate us and want us to be here forever.
All right, while we have a break, I should probably, Spiral pointed out that Ron Rice had 10 sacks and 9 sacks in 2 different seasons, so I guess I was wrong on that one. Yeah. I don't remember what I was looking at, but
I mean, I like Ron Rice. I don't think he's amazing. I don't think he's going to be like top level.
Yeah.
But
I think he's the good tier where he'll stick around for a couple years and you'll say, hey, that's a good guy. Kind of like Paul Kruger, I guess. He's not great, but you're like, hey, he's having a good year.
Well, like a little underrated though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll fly under the radar, but always be solid.
Yeah.
Is my prediction for Ron Rice.
2 minutes left on this pick. They better get it in quick.
Yeah, seriously.
What if the Saints run out of time and the Panthers jump ahead of them and take whoever they wanted? I think that would be fun.
It could.
That'd be fun. I would like that. Division rivals screwing over each other. Okay, looks like the pick is finally in because the Saints decided they love us now. Let's go to the commissioner.
With the 12th overall pick of the 2016 NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select Jeremy Miller, defensive tackle.
Wow.
I got to tell you, I don't like it. I like Jeremy Miller. You can't take a franchise QB and then take a defensive tackle at the next pick.
Yeah, I don't get this move.
I disagree with you guys entirely.
I know I love Jeremy Miller, but like I've talked to the Saints before, and I don't understand this at all. Because they have a pretty good defensive line already in place. I don't know why they're drafting Jeremy Miller.
It seems like they're just going best player available. If that's the case, then it makes sense.
I think it's a great pick myself.
Well, I don't know. I just feel like, to me, you take a franchise QB, you build around the QB. Even if your defense is weak, you don't want your QB to be faltered in development. Look at Blake Shell last year. The Bengals were fucked with him, and he didn't develop well because they didn't build him an offensive line that was, competent. And so therein lies the problem. I don't know if the Saints are necessarily Bengals level, where they don't have an offensive line ready to go, but I think you just have to pick an offensive lineman, make sure he's protected before you go to defense. Even though I like Jeremy Miller, even though I think he's good, even though I think he's a good pick, you take a franchise QB, you take Denver in the top 10. You can't just now take a defensive tackle.
I'm just going to go out and say this. Jeremy Miller, to me, is the best player in this draft. He's unbelievable. I think he is the best guy. And I think the Saints actually made a really good pick here. I'm pissed off that they took him before I could because I love Jeremy Miller. Jeremy Miller is probably my favorite player I've seen. He's just a beast, and I am so sad right now. This is the second straight year I've had a guy taken before me. I wanted Brian Brown last year. So my throat.
I don't really know how Miller fell this far.
Well,
yeah, he is so good.
I really think the offensive line is not that bad. They have an 81 offensive tackle. And
I understand saying
a 77 center, 73 and 70 guard, and a 58 guard. So
then why not just take Lamont Sheriff here? He's really good. I think he's like.
No, it doesn't matter. No, you take Jeremy Miller because he's the best player in this draft, in my opinion. I don't question this pick at all.
Yeah, I think I put him.
If he's there,
Think
I
about it
take
this way, Jumbo. Look at the defensive tackles. There's 180, 279s, and then there's like a huge drop off. So if you want a defensive tackle, you got to take him now. If you want a guard, there's so many good guards. There's still 5 80-plus guards on the board, and there's
the Saints don't have another pick until
plus.
The Saints don't have a pick until 55, though. I think there's going to be a run on guards in the second round.
Even if there's a run on guards, there's still going to be good ones left.
Yeah, but you're not going to get someone on the level of Lamont Sheriff. I understand wanting to build your defensive line. I get it. But you drafted a QB. You can't just ignore him now. I mean, it may be a difference in philosophy between me and the Saints or whatever, but, like, I will tell you now, I want to pick offense at the next pick because we picked Uyghur. You got to build around him.
I think they already have the pieces in place, though.
I think they're just going best pick available, and then they pick him.
I think they do have the pieces in place. They already have a 85 running back, an 85 receiver.
All right, we can continue this argument in a second. Sorry to cut you off.
So.
The pick is in. We're going to go to Saluna.
With the 13th pick of the 2016 draft, the Carolina Panthers select Kendrick Drowns, defensive end, Ohio State. The Houston Texans are now on the clock.
2 defensive ends for Carolina. That's surprising.
And, Ron Rice and Kendrick Drowns are going to be very competitive. They already have a rivalry going, so, they're going to be competing to see who can get the most sacks every year. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch.
There's a run on defensive ends in this first round here.
Honestly, I just don't understand Carolina's draft strategies. Maybe that's just me. They took 2 corners last year. They're taking 2 defensive ends this year. I don't know. It feels weird to me. Their linebacking core is still terrible.
Yeah, they have one decent inside linebacker, but yeah, I think no one's even taken an inside linebacker yet. So
yeah.
Well, it's not about taking an inside linebacker necessarily. You look at the inside linebackers; they're not all that impressive.
Yeah,
I'll take that. Yep. Well, also their outside linebackers. Sorry, their outside linebackers are bad. And there's still players like W.M. Mitchell available. There's Trent Haynes available. And so I think that would have been a smarter pick there instead of going for a second defensive end.
I agree. I don't like taking a second defensive end at this pick. I think they should have gone something else. But, I mean, it's not a terrible pick. I would have definitely went with another spot on the defensive line or a guard like we were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe the plan was to take Jeremy Miller there. And then the Saints.
That's true.
And then maybe the Panthers didn't know what to do. So that could be a possibility.
So, what will the Texans do here?
Good question. I have no idea.
I'm looking at their roster right now. They actually got a quarterback in free agency. They got Darren Warner. So I don't think they're going to take a quarterback, even though
they need a running back. Is what they need.
They do need a running back, but I don't think you would. Any of the ones that are still available are worth first-round picks.
I think Sterling Brown might be worth a first-round pick. I know a lot of people don't like his size, but he is still incredible.
174 for a power running back is just...
Actually, what's going to stare teams off of Sterling Brown is the size with the injury risk. No one's going to want to take a chance on that in the first round.
Right. That's true.
I think, actually, Sterling Brown is an odd kind of hybrid running back. Even though he's a power, he's way faster than all the other power running backs, and he's like the size is not power running back. It's more of a speed guy. So I'm not sure he really fits into the power scheme as well as it may say he is. So we'll see. I think he's a second-round pick, but I definitely think that the Texans are going to go. Probably.
I think this is where we see the first cornerback taken. I think it's going to be Hawkins.
Yeah, I could see it being a cornerback. I think it might be an outside linebacker.
Honestly, I'm just surprised all of the corners have fallen this far. I figured we'd see one taken at least.
The Texans really need a lot of things, so almost anything would be good.
Yeah, I think they just go BPA.
I think they're really good at inside linebacker. But everything else is kind of a need.
Well, I guess we'll find out now. We're going to go to the commissioner and see who the Texans have taken.
With the 14th pick of the 2016 draft, the Houston Texans select DeAndre Hawkins, cornerback, Ohio State. The Cleveland Browns are now on the clock.
Ball Hawkins! Yes, he's my favorite player. Oh my god, I love Ball Hawkins.
Like I said, Texans needed a corner. I think it's a match made in heaven there.
Love Ball Hawkins. Oh, he's my favorite player I've ever had. I love him more than Kotar and Marcus. I love Ball Hawkins. Okay, I'm done. That's my analysis there.
Amazing
I'm just
analysis.
happy to see my guy gone.
I think he'll be good.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna be a really good player for the Texans, and like you said, it's a need, so it's a good pick.
And there's 2 Ohio State players that have gone in a row, and with Dean on the Browns, could we see a third?
Well, the Browns, I think they need defense more than anything.
Yeah, that's my personal opinion. I don't know exactly where we're going with yet.
Well, shouldn't you know because you're on the Browns?
Yeah, I know I'm discussing it right now, but we kind of got screwed over by some of our guys being taken in front of us.
All right, I'm gonna take a look at your roster. You guys could definitely use a receiver. Could be someone like Cap Christian going here.
No, I don't like Cap Christian.
Well, shut up. Yeah, I think if it's not Cap Christian, then it's gonna be defense. I could see Matt Cowan or Justin Davis being the pick.
I could see them taking Tom Henderson.
Could be. I don't think any inside linebackers going in the first round this year, though. I don't think anyone's going to take Tom Henderson in the first round. There's just too many other players that are better. Not necessarily amazing players, but they're better players at outside linebacker if you need a linebacker, and they're better players still on the defensive line. Ulysses Smith is still there. There's still better players in the secondary. And I think you're not going to see an inside linebacker like Tom Henderson go until we're in the second round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they only have one defensive end on the roster. Their defensive line is pretty strong, though. It's an 81, 81, and a 72. So they could fill that out with another 80 plus and be incredibly strong defensive line.
Yeah.
They do kind of need some safeties, but I don't think either of these guys any of these safeties are worth the first round pick myself.
All right, Cleveland's still taking their time here. So let's go over some of the picks that have happened so far, if you guys know who's been taken. So we've had 3 QBs go. We have Eric Wiegert going number 1 to New York. We've got Todd Lester going to San Fran at number 8, and Devereaux going to New Orleans at number 9. Who do you guys think is going to have the best pro career of all the QBs that have been taken?
I think Wiegert pretty easily.
I think it's close. I think since Lester went to an expansion team, he's going to have a kind of down year the first year. And I think Weger and Devereaux will be better in their rookie seasons. But I could see Lester being a star. I could also see Weger went first overall. I think he's the better of the 2 pocket quarterbacks that went. So,
well, who of all of them, who's going to have the best career, though? When it's all said and done, any of them going to the Hall of Fame, any of them winning a Super Bowl, who's going to be the best?
I gotta say Wiegert.
I think Wiegert, but I don't think. If I had to guess right now, I don't think any of these guys are Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah, I would say that, but I think if anyone has a shot, it's Wiegert.
I don't know. I mean, I would hope it would be that way, but there's a reason we took Wiegert over all the other QBs. I think he is the best QB in this draft. So
obviously, you picked it.
We'll see.
So.
That's what I said. So Cleveland's got 2 minutes left. We're nearly an hour into this draft, and it's only been 6 picks since the last half an hour, thanks to New Orleans taking our time. But looks like the pick is finally in, and we will go to the commissioner.
With the 15th pick of the 2016 draft, the Cleveland Browns select Ulysses Smith, defensive end, Penn State. The Seattle Seahawks are now on the clock.
See,
run on defensive ends continues.
Well, there've only been 3 defensive end taken, but I guess it is kind of a run now.
No, this is the
that's fifth one taken. Yeah, third one.
Oh yeah, that's true. So, I mean, it's also kind of
6'8", 290. That's what that guy is.
Yeah, basically,
he's a monster.
Yeah, he's huge.
I'm going to go against the grain here. You look at Smith in college. Outside of the one really good game in the playoffs, he was never really that good.
Yeah, the playoff game where you're really good is a pretty good sign.
While true, he never really did anything else. He was never that impressive in any other game. He has good size. He has good intangibles. Will that work out though?
Really, and this was really just we need a DE, and we didn't think there was going to be another one that was good enough for us in this draft besides Ulysses. I think there's a drop off. I don't think Bill Young is as good a DE, and I don't even think it would be available to us anyways. And I don't think the guys Ray McBride or Billy Stevenson's on that caliber either. So this is basically we need a DE. Let's take it now. Otherwise, I think we probably would have I kind of wanted Justin Davis, but I felt like Ulysses was more of a need, and I think this is a good pick for us.
All right, guys. So Seattle is back on the clock after they traded down with Dallas the last time. And Dallas took Jace Brown at that pick. Do you think the Seahawks might take an offensive lineman?
The Sheriff's still available?
Sheriff is still available, yes.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I don't even know I don't know who they got in the
I think best pick available right now is a cornerback.
They got Joshua Andrews in the expansion draft. That's the notable one, I believe. I don't think they got anyone else super notable.
Which I don't know like any of the quarterbacks that were drafted in the expansion. I think those teams they still need a quarterback because Robert Price and Joshua Andrews are not starting quarterbacks in my opinion.
Well,
I think Joshua could be.
Yeah, I think he might.
We gave up on him real
Price
quick, but I don't know. I think he could have an alright career.
Okay, well, look at the running backs. Seahawks have no running backs on the roster, right? Could it be Sterling Brown? And if they are concerned about Brown's injury proneness, could they go for Tyndale or Berry?
I think Berry would be a good pick.
Yeah, I don't know if you can take Sterling and hope he's like your best player because that's really what this pick is.
Honestly, no one knows the name Fred Tyndale. No one knows who the hell he is. Go look up his college stats last year. I think he was maybe the second best running back in college behind Achille Wallace.
He did a lot of stat padding at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, you have to take out that New
pretty
Mexico
bad
game.
teams.
He had just a ton of terrible teams. Because he had 300 yards rushing against New Mexico or something. So yeah, I don't necessarily have that much value in that.
He did have a pretty good combine though.
Yeah, he did.
So, I mean, I don't think he'll be bad or anything.
I think for running backs, it's looked like in the past that what you do in college is probably more important than what you do at the combine anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, it also depends on the scheme the team is running. Like Sterling Brown had more attempts than most running backs.
But honestly, if it's me, I'm concerned taking Sterling Brown in the first round for the 3 reasons, which are size, injury proneness, and that he's already carried the ball so many times that he could break down early compared to other running backs you could take.
Right. I sort of feel like Sterling Brown could be a little bit like Quincy Turner, who we drafted last year. He's just like his stats. Quincy's stats are kind of similar. Carried a lot of yards, but so far hasn't really done much in the NFL.
Mm-hmm. Didn't you guys trade him to New York?
No, we still have him.
Did you? Oh, that was Sean Evans traded Jesse. Yeah. So, looks like the Seahawks have 2 minutes left, 2.5 minutes left. Weiss said in the IRC that Achille also stat padded sometimes, but everyone does if you play good teams.
Yeah, Marcus Stapp had against Indiana. That was really it.
I mean, I guess so. I don't know. I'll take Weiss's word for
Florida
it.
played like three or four teams like right in a row that were all pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. So I think Seahawks could take Sterling Brown here, but I think they might just go defense, build up a good defense. I don't think it could be Sheriff. I don't think they're going to take any other offensive lineman though.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there's any receiver really worth taking at this point. They could take a QB, but it wouldn't make sense that they would take Joshua Andrews then. So,
Right.
my guess is that Seattle will be going on defense here. I think it'll be a corner, Matt Cowan and Justin Davis.
Yeah. Matt Cowan is a really tall, fast cornerback. I think they.
Yeah.
Seattle.
I think Wisconsin had like the third best pass defense of the nation last year or something. I don't know if that's right. Someone can probably fact check me. But I remember looking at it one day and I was like, wow, I did not expect that out of Wisconsin. But yeah, he's a good corner.
Yeah, I think you can't really go wrong with Cowan or Davis. I mean, they're both really good players.
Part of the problem is a lot of people just don't need zone cornerbacks and have other needs. And there's a couple good zones corners in this draft that you can just wait on. I think that's the reason they fell. I think that's kind of the same reason with the running backs why they're not being drafted either. There's just too many good guys, so you just think, I'll draft him later. This is a bigger need right now.
Well, I mean, with the running backs last year, I don't think any running back won in the first round, right? And I may be wrong, but I don't believe a running back won in the first round last year. And we still had a bunch of good running backs that ended up, coming out of that draft. So you can get a good guy. You can get a good guy out of the first round. That's the thing.
Well, the Seahawks are running out of time here.
Yeah, I wonder if the Seahawks are going to get it in time, or if the Ravens may be able to jump them.
They might be trying to trade again.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think they're probably trying to trade, but
it's too late at this point. You got to turn in the pick.
Yeah.
There's 10 seconds left. I wonder what's going to happen here. We might have to hear from the commissioner about the result of the clock running out. Looks like they got it in just in time. So we'll
No, the Seattle Seahawks have not gotten the pick in time. So the Baltimore Ravens are now on the clock. Seahawks may submit their pick whenever they choose.
It's interesting. So I think looks like Seattle didn't get in on time. If I was Rome, I'd be rushing to get my pick in right now this second.
Yeah. I'm not sure the Ravens are going to go with. I think DeAndre Hawkins might have been their top guy. I don't really know. That was just my assumption originally. So maybe.
But I mean, you have 7 minutes on the clock. You got to be able to prepare for your second. Even if they wanted to trade down, like you have to be ready. But yeah, if I was Rome, this is a shout out to Rome. Run and make your pick now this second. You better be ready.
And Lambeau.
The Seahawks pick is in.
Okay.
There we go.
I wanted to see someone jump.
With the 16th pick, the Seattle Seahawks select Matt Cohen, cornerback, Wisconsin.
Yeah,
that's a good pick.
Yeah, I think that's a fair enough pick.
Earlier, so
disappointing that the Ravens couldn't jump in time though.
Yeah, I think Matt Cohen was a top 10 talent, easy.
Yeah, I'm surprised he fell so far.
Yeah, I think it's a good pick for an expansion team, even if corner's not like the most amazing, a position to pick in the draft. I think he's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah, I was hoping Cohen would fall to us one more spot.
Yeah.
There's still Justin Davis, but it looks like the Ravens may have already gotten their pick in since they were trying to rush. So we're going to go to the commissioner again and see who the Ravens have selected.
With the 17th overall pick, the Baltimore Ravens select Danny Patrick, tight end, North Carolina. The Detroit Lions are now on the clock.
I guess we know why they were I guess we know why they tried to trade Scott Howard forever.
No, I don't like this pick.
I don't like this pick at all. I don't think Danny Patrick had a very good combine. I guess he had a good college career, but he did have
Yeah, he had A.J. Jefferson throwing him the football. I mean, this is the same thing. This is the same thing that happens with Spec Davidson. People thought, oh yeah, he's a really good tight end because look at that. No, it was just Skaggs. It's part of a system. I think some people try to trade for Bob Branch too. I think people really need to learn that these tight ends are just products of systems and it's not their greatness. I mean, sure, they're probably really good too. They're pretty good, but I don't like the pick.
Yeah,
I feel the first tight end to ever go in the first round.
I think that's right.
I don't think there's ever been a tight end good enough to really go in the first round until Patrick, though. I mean, give Patrick credit. I mean, to be an 82 on your own, even with Jefferson throwing to you, he's still really good. It's just we don't know if QBs will throw to him. I don't know if Reggie Watkins will throw to him.
Yeah, they don't have.
Watkins.
I think he could be a good tight end in the NFL. I don't know if he'll be like a star, but I mean, I liked him. I was hoping he might be there when we were picking, but. I don't know if
I was picking a tight end in the first round. There's so much other talent available. I don't like this pick.
Yeah, I feel like you just with what we've seen from tight ends, I don't think we have reliable enough like QBs throwing to tight ends to just take one in the first. I just don't think it's a good idea. But I feel like this is probably honestly the worst pick of the first round so far. It's just too risky to take a tight end in the first round with what we know about them. It could work out. I'll say that. I think it could work out.
He could end up Jimmy Graham or something like that.
Yeah, but the Ravens also don't have a good enough QB to go to a tight end.
They had a tight end who was pretty good last year, and they just let him go.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe they were just in love with Patrick. But I'm gonna interrupt this. Looks like the pick is in. Lions have picked. Let's go to the commissioner and see who Detroit has selected.
With the 18th overall pick of the 2016 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Lamont Sheriff, guard, Virginia Tech. The Packers are now on the clock.
This is a good pick.
It's a good pick.
It's not sexy.
Not gonna lie.
I actually had this guy as my top guard in the draft.
Yeah, I think he's pretty damn good. This is a solid choice.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at what's his name, Jace Brown. Jace Brown is very light. Not the tallest.
If you look at the combines, Sheriff was better than Brown at everything. So.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird that he was picked first. They have the same. Well, actually, it's 1 point higher, I guess. But
yeah,
he is.
Overall, probably was the tiebreaker there. But I like the pick. I think it's a good pick for Detroit if they're sticking with Gerald Bright, which I guess they are.
That's the plan.
I don't know how I feel about Gerald Bright personally, but he did have a good end to last year. He had a couple good games. I guess we'll have to see how that works out for Detroit.
Yeah. We don't really expect like Bright to just be like a star this year or anything, but we think he can develop into like a good quarterback.
Yeah, I feel like I agree with you on that.
Yeah, he's a good game manager. I think. I don't think he's anything special.
His combine, I can't remember it off the top of my head right now, but his combine was actually like really good. Like not as good as Nick Hall's or anything like that, but pretty close.
Yeah.
All right, so we got the Packers here. They got two picks coming up.
Yeah, Packers got 2 picks. What do you guys think?
Oh, and the Texans have 2 picks coming up too, so this is just kind of a repeat.
Actually, hold on. We have a trade. The Packers traded not this pick, but their next pick to Indianapolis, along with their 7th-round pick, in exchange for the Colts' 2nd-round pick at 31 and the Colts' 5th-round pick at 110.
I don't even know what the hell's going on with some of these trades anymore. I just don't know what teams want to do here. Is there a chance the Colts are like trading up for Ryan Clark or something?
No, they have.
That would be.
I mean, I know they have a good quarterback, but I don't know if they're content with them.
If they're not content with Biera, then they're doing something wrong because he's not that. He's not that quarterback.
Yeah, I know he's not bad.
If you look at the sample size with what was it? The sample size with Biera last year, he was literally the best QB in the NFL over everyone in the small sample. It wasn't even small. He played over half the games. If you look at his stats, he had over 10 yards per attempt average, like something ridiculous like that. So, I don't know.
Someone
I
on
think
defense.
part of that
maybe a
been
corner.
because they kept switching QBs, so people didn't know how to game plan against them. But
Well, true. You also can't be bad and put that up.
yeah, I think he's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's the best quarterback in the NFL.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah, no, but I don't think you
I'm
trade
not
up.
saying that, but like,
He's definitely good though.
I feel like if Indianapolis trades up for a QB right now, it's going to be a mistake.
Mm-hmm. That's what I would say.
So wait, what are the Saints going to do with Kareem? Have they put him on the trade block yet?
Yeah, they're still going to try to trade him. I don't think anyone wants him. But
I mean,
yeah,
I'd take him, but I don't.
It's got to hurt for them to have let what's his name go, to have let Alan Taylor go after a year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to like really suck. Like you got to be thinking, why would you trade a quarterback like that into Jumbo's division? It's gotta hurt.
But like, if you really look back, like at the time that the trade happened, it like wasn't like a terrible idea,
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Kareem was ever that amazing.
Right. But like, I think he was better. He had better stat. Or Alan, I don't remember what it was. Someone got hurt. Alan Taylor got hurt.
Yeah.
He had better stats, and he was fine.
Someone pointed out in the IRC that they're probably trading up for CJ Logan. But it looks like the Packers pick has come in, so let's go to the commissioner and find out.
With the 19th pick, the Green Bay Packers select Antonio Birch, cornerback, Michigan. The Houston Texans are now on the clock.
I don't know about this one.
Birch is not one of my favorites. I think it's an okay pick. I mean,
he sort of had like a good combine, but
yeah.
I'm not going to start listing stats so Inspiral doesn't.
I think this makes them one of the best secondary in the league.
I think the problem with taking Birch is even with, corners playing better man than zone, I think Justin Davis is just flat out better. For me, it's hard to take Birch over Davis, even if you play man. Even if you play
think that zone corners are just not as good as man? Because
Keyshawn's zone, good. And he was all pro last year.
Yeah, but I don't think one is better than the other necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more of a preference.
I think people get too caught up on the zone and man thing sometimes. Zone corners probably can play man, and man corners can probably play zone.
Yeah, but it does take a little hit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. But I think I would still, even if I was playing man, I would still take Justin Davis over Birch.
I don't think you give up your scheme. I think if you want a man guy, you just get your man guy. I think that's basically it. And it's not that much of a drop off to me. Even if you do like Justin Davis, I just guess they didn't. They really like Birch. He had a really good combine.
I mean, I'm not saying it's bad to like Birch. But I think even with the drop-off, if you're taking a cornerback and there's a better one available, even with the drop-off, why not take the better one? Because if you end up switching in the future, you don't like man in the future, it's not working for you in the future, you got a better guy.
Yeah, but I don't think you just want to abandon scheme if you already have one in place, and it's been doing pretty good for the Packers. I mean, they're a pretty good team. They're a very good team.
The thing is, even if you are sticking with man, you still can use Davis and man.
Yeah, but it's going to be a drop off, and I think Birch playing man is better than Davis playing man coverage.
Probably true. I mean, I'm not saying it's a terrible pick or anything. I just think I would have taken Davis. Just so you know, as a quick announcement, we are going to switch to a 6-minute timer for the second round, so be prepared for that.
And I think Justin Davis will go here. That's just my random prediction.
I wonder if the Packers are going to leave.
No, because these guys drafted. They drafted Hawkins. Never mind.
They drafted Hawkins.
Short-term memory.
I'm kind of surprised though that the Packers didn't pick O-line. I'm looking at their roster now.
Yeah, that's where I thought they were
kind of desperate for some good offensive linemen. But
yeah. Well, I mean, look, Houston has the 3 first-round picks curse this year, and so none of their first-round picks are going to work out. So I wonder which bust they're drafting here.
It's going to be Sterling Brown.
Marcus Berry.
Yeah, I think the Texans will take a running back at some point. I don't think it'll be at any of their 3 first-rounders.
I think they can. I think they can wait till. I mean, they have another pick rate, like couple picks later, so they don't have to take a running back now either.
Yeah, I just think I don't think the Texans are going to value running backs as much. I know they were bidding on Elvis. I personally don't like the running backs as much in this draft for Houston. I think they're not going for receivers either. It'll either be they might go for the center John Zatkoff, even though they just traded for what's his name, Raymond Muhammad. They took a corner already, but they could go for another linebacker to help out. Could go for W.M. Mitchell. And I could see them going for D-line too. But the pick is in, so speculation's over. Let's find out who they took.
With the 20th overall pick, the Houston Texans select Matt Bogle, offensive tackle, Ohio State. Indianapolis Colts are now on the clock.
I feel like CMC Gills or C. McGill's just taking my guys just to try to like lure me back in.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we've seen that offensive tackles can be successful while short, but 6'1" may be too short.
No, I still think this is a good pick. I think Matt Bogle was like one of the strongest guys. I'm not sure if that's accurate at all.
Yeah,
but I think
among all linemen, he's the strongest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it could be good, but he may be better suited on the right side. I'm not sure if he's run blocking or pass blocking.
He's pass.
If he's pass, okay. You know what? In that case, I actually don't mind the pick then, especially at 20. He is the highest overall, and even with the shortness, everything else works. Everything else makes him look good. And so in the 20s, in a draft that's not as strong at the top, it makes sense.
I think it's a good pick. I like it.
Yeah, and they already have a really good guard to go next to him.
They already have a good tackle. What's his name? Aaron Guglielmi, or whatever. And they still have two really good guards with Chance, and I don't know the other guy, but I know he's at like 79 or 80. And so I guess Texans are building a really good offensive line, although they don't really have anyone to like do anything with it.
I think their next pick will probably be a running back then, because
yeah.
If you build that line, you got to have somebody to run the ball with, or at least to pass the ball. And I'm not sure they got the quarterback for that. So.
I think if they're going for a running back, I honestly think it'll be Marcus Berry over Sterling Brown. I know Sterling Brown was successful in college. I still think teams are too scared. I would be scared to take Sterling Brown in the first round.
I wouldn't, but
I think. Do you think Sterling Brown ends up maybe not as good, but like last year's Brian Brown, where he falls because of injury risk, and then?
No, I think
it's different for running backs than quarterbacks, though. Yeah.
Yeah, running backs get hit a lot.
Parallel.
And also, I think Marcus Berry might actually just be better than Sterling Brown.
Yeah, I kind of think. Yeah. But see, I always I've started to hesitate on OSU offensive players production just because that offensive line is also really good. But then again, I'm not sure if it's the offensive line or Marcus Berry either, so it's kind of weird.
Texas offensive line is really good too, so it's not.
Yeah.
Not like Berry had an advantage there.
That's true. And Marcus was still really good last year, but I think our O-line was better. Even though we didn't have like a good quarterback, so people were always targeting the run. At least they should have been always targeting the run, because my pass offense was terrible last year. So I do really like Marcus Berry. Obviously, I mean he played for me, but I would probably say Sterling's better.
Looks like the Colts have submitted their second pick. Let's see which C.J. Logan they took. Let's go to the commissioner.
With the 21st overall pick of the 2016 draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Jimmy Shelton, guard, Cincinnati. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are now on the clock.
By the way, if the Texans are waiting on a running back, they might be screwed if the Buccaneers take a running back here.
I also just want to say this: if Justin Davis falls to Saluna, I quit drafting. This would be ridiculous.
Yeah. So, Tampa or Houston, we're all begging of you, please take Justin Davis.
Or Saluna trade back, please, because I can't take this again. Dolphins keep.
It's just going to be like a every year thing. They're just going to scoop up whoever's falling.
Who falls to the Dolphins this year?
Next year they'll get another franchise QB somehow. So, let's see. Who do you guys think is going to go here?
This could be Ryan Clark. They've been trying to trade Bridgewater.
Yeah.
Their QB that they drafted last year. But I do think they need a running back as well.
This may be the first running back.
Actually, the Buccaneers just need help in general, kind of.
Yeah, they got a lot of issues to work out.
Yeah, I mean, they're not a bad team at all, but I mean, their roster is just not very attractive.
Yeah.
Weren't they like started off like really well and then they imploded
Died.
or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah, I think they started 4-0 and ended up like 5-9 or something.
Yeah.
So they imploded from within. But I think they couldn't trade Bridgewater, but I think they still want to keep him. So, because unless they're taking Ryan Clark here, but I don't think they're going to take Ryan Clark. So what I think they're going to do is they're either going to take offensive linemen, just take the best guard available, which would be, I guess, Robert Rofe. They could take a corner. Their corners are pretty bad, so Justin Davis could end up going here. And I think the other option would be in running backs with Sterling Brown, Marcus Berry, or maybe Fred Tyndall. Probably not Fred Tyndall, but Sterling Brown or Marcus Berry going. But the pick is in, so let's go to the commissioner and see who they took.
With the 22nd pick of the 2016 draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Marcus Berry, running back, Ohio State. The Houston Texans are now on the clock.
So a lot of Ohio State players.
Yeah, I know. But it's, we had so much talent last year. It's amazing I went 6-7 with this roster.
Awesome coaching.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I think that's the right way to go.
I think what may have happened here is that may have screwed over Houston if they were waiting for Berry. They might go for Davis now to pair with. Oh no, they didn't take
DeAndre Hawkins.
They took Hawkins. Maybe not.
It's interesting that Tampa traded their pick. I believe they traded with the Falcons, didn't they?
No, I don't think so.
No, they traded to San Diego, but they could have gotten. They could have traded up and gotten Akili Wallace probably, and that would have probably been better than waiting this far. But I don't know. Marcus Berry is a pretty good pick. So
wait, how many Buckeyes is that in the first round? 5?
Yeah, I believe it's 5.
Is that a record?
No, it's 4. It's Berry, Bogle, Drowns, and Hawkins.
Okay.
Those are probably going to be the only 4 that go unless
someone take Bowman. About Bowman.
Yeah.
Someone could take Bowman. I don't think Houston or Miami are taking Bowman though, so it'll probably be 4.
Well, that last pick also means Justin Davis is probably falling to Miami, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Saluna's getting Justin Davis. Life is unfair. I hate you all.
Sorry.
So, let's see. Houston. So far they've taken the busts. DeAndre Hawkins and Matt Bogle. Who's the third bust they're going to take?
Why are you doing this to Houston?
It's because they have 3 first-round picks. It's just guaranteed to happen, you know. It's nothing to do with Ohio State.
Looks
like the pick is in. We'll go to Saluna.
With the 23rd pick of the 2016 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Bill Young, defensive end, Virginia Tech. The Super Bowl champion Miami Dolphins are now on the clock.
Ew.
Not a fan of Bill Young at all. He's the best DE available, but I don't like him at all.
Why not?
They already have him.
Scouted him, and none of us were like really impressed with what he did.
Wow, every 80-plus defensive end went in the first round.
Yeah.
That's not that surprising. That outside of Brum, I mean, the defensive end drop-off in the league is pretty big. So guys are trying to get, the second tier of defensive ends. I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I'm being serious. Like, everyone is below Brum, so guys are trying to find a good defensive end to get up into Brum's level, if that makes sense. It makes sense that there are that many going. But I think Bill Young, more than any of the defensive ends here, he's going to be more of a 3-4 defensive end. I don't know if Houston's trying to go to that kind of scheme, but I think he fits better in that scheme.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just don't see him. I don't see him like putting up like amazing sack numbers or anything like that.
Well, he put up 8 sacks last year, did he not?
He might have. I don't know. I just like in the NFL. I just don't just based on what we scouted him for the combine and everything. Just based on that, it just didn't really seem like he was a future star.
He could be a solid first-round pick, though. Yeah, I agree with you that he's never going to be amazing. I don't think anyone thinks he's going to be amazing.
Right.
He'll be solid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's the 23rd pick in the first round. It's not like a bad pick or anything like that.
Yeah. So Miami's on the clock now. Which Justin Davis do you think they'll take?
I mean, is there anybody else they could possibly take? I think
they might take
outside
Mitchell to him.
Yeah.
They could take Haynes. Haynes is still available.
I think they have man guys though, so I think it'd be W.M. Mitchell. Maybe Haynes though. I don't know. I'm not sold.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. He's probably not taking anything on offense, if I had to guess, unless it's a guard. So, I don't know.
It's definitely either a corner or outside linebacker, one of those two.
Could they go for defensive end, even with most of the good ones gone? Could he go for I guess it would be defensive tackle. So could he go for Greg Martin or Josh Wilson? Because I know he lost A.B. Todd in the expansion draft.
I don't think either of those go at this pick. He does need that, but if you have Justin Davis on the board, you don't take one of those guys.
Yeah. All right. So pick is in. Let's see who Saluna took.
With the 24th and final pick of the first round of the 2016 NFL Draft, the Super Bowl champion Miami Dolphins select Justin Davis, cornerback, Florida.
God damn it, guys! Stop letting players fall to Miami every year in the draft. This has gotten out of hand. This is ridiculous.
All right. So San Diego will be up. Clock moves down to 6 minutes. Fuck all of you, and let's
please nerf Miami. It's drafting abilities.
So this is the first pick in San Diego Chargers history. Who do you think is going here?
Not Justin Davis, 'cause he just got taken. I don't know. I guess you just go BPA here if you're them.
Probably.
Not Sterling Brown, because they got
Elvis Williams,
didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
So
I think this is going to be Tavian Oliphant.
Yeah, maybe W.M. Mitchell. Just a random name to throw out there. Trent Haynes maybe too.
I feel like the drop off kind of starts now. Now we're at the second tier of players, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, Justin Davis is probably the last first year available.
I could see John Zatkoff, the center.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I think the Chargers have done a very good job here, and I kind of want to express that because I really like what they did. They got Will Thompson, who I think is a pretty good quarterback, and that signing of Elvis Williams was really good. So I think they've done a really good job so far. I've been pretty impressed with what Weiss has done. So I expect a good pick from the Chargers here.
Yeah, I agree. I think by far at this point the expansion team that I expect to be the best.
Yeah, I definitely think the Chargers will be
with Thompson and Elvis. They're probably going to be pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, looks like the Chargers pick has come in. Let's go to the commissioner and see who they took.
With the first pick of the second round, the San Diego Chargers select Tavian Oliphant, strong safety, Alabama. The Denver Broncos are now on the clock.
I think that's kind of actually a weird pick.
I think it's a good pick. I think strong safety class is not very good this year. There's a couple top guys, but
yeah,
he's definitely the best one.
Honestly, the strong safety class this year I would call literally terrible. That's how I would describe it.
Well, you still need a strong safety, though. And all offensive
safeties in general are just bad.
Yeah, they don't show up on the stat sheet like ever, so I wouldn't hold anybody accountable.
Strong safeties show up now and then. Free safeties almost never do unless they get
Oh yeah,
but
it's usually it's like a pick every once in a while from a safety. That's what I've seen.
But you don't see that what they're actually doing, which is if you look at teams with the good safeties, they don't give up a lot of long touchdowns.
Yeah,
which is something I I think it's really important. So
now I usually don't like man safeties myself, even though I always seem to wind up with them, just because I don't like the idea of a safety playing man coverage. I feel like they should be in zone most of the time.
I agree with that, but I on my team I have a man safety, Keyshawn Iamdeho, and he's been pretty good.
Oh
so.
yeah, and see, I don't know why, but yeah, I always wind up with man safeties too, and I think they do a pretty okay job. I've just never been a fan of having them. So, anyways, what's Denver gonna do here? I might take Ryan Clark if I'm them, just because he's still there, and I'm terrified to see what Robert Price does as starting quarterback. That scares the crap out of me if I'm them.
I wouldn't trust Robert Price as starting quarterback either.
I don't know.
Yeah,
if
I feel like I feel like both teams that took quarterbacks in the first round of the expansion draft wanted to wait on quarterbacks, and so I don't think they're gonna spend a second round pick. I think they want to build talent, and so they're probably just gonna go best player available.
Mm-hmm.
Darren Manning maybe goes here.
I believe this is also the first draft pick in Denver history, so I'm interested to see who goes. So I guess we'll find out now. Pick is in. Let's go to Saluna.
With the second pick of the second round, the Denver Broncos select John Zatkoff, center, Alabama. The San Francisco 49ers are now on the clock.
That's a solid pick.
Not sexy, but best center in the draft. So
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with that.
And he's got. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'd want my center to be 6'7". I don't know if that's actually a good thing for a center.
I don't think it's terrible for a center.
Yeah, but then
I think so.
I don't know.
6'8".
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus. I usually think of centers as like 6'2", 300.
Yeah, I think Nick Mangold is like 6'3", so I think that's the height of most centers. Around that.
But anyways, yeah, that's a solid pick for Denver.
Mangold is actually 6'4", so I think that's kind of the range. So anyway, 49ers are up. What do you guys think there?
You know,
still haven't had any inside linebackers taken.
Oh yeah.
Tom Henderson's a good pick at this spot. I think.
Yeah, I know. Tom Henderson's a pretty good player. I thought he might go in the first round a couple times.
I don't. Whoever gets Tom Henderson's going to get a good player.
And then, Dalroy's smart. He's good, too. I thought he might go earlier. Just 'cause, I usually think their early declarations are going to go earlier than they do.
Yeah.
And then they never wind up going that early, usually, for some reason. But I don't know what the 49ers do here.
Yeah.
They have a running back, so it's not going to be Sterling Brown.
I don't know. I feel like it's tough. Like, there's no clear-cut pick here.
Yeah, it's always hard to say with the expansion teams, just because they need a lot.
Yeah.
So it's going to be best player available, I think.
I think Trent Haynes might be the pick. But let's go to the commissioner. Pick is in. Let's find out who it is.
With the third pick of the second round, the San Francisco 49ers select Kevin Branch, wide receiver, Mississippi State. The Baltimore Ravens are now on the clock.
Kind of a reach.
I like that. I like that pick.
I think it's a bit of a reach, but if he's the kind of receiver you want, it also makes sense.
Yeah, he's a good speed guy. He's got very good size. And I know a lot of people seem to like speed receivers that are tall.
Yeah.
I don't know if that actually correlates to success or not. I haven't looked it up. But a lot of people, like I know Marvin White is getting a lot of attention too.
Walt Peck and Gary Faneca are both tall speed receivers, and they're probably the two best receivers.
Yeah. That's true.
So
yeah.
I feel like it makes sense.
And I guess Kevin Branch is a good player because I'm pretty sure he was part of that team that beat FSU, was he not? Yeah, he would have had to have been.
Yeah, he's another one that declared early.
Right, so the Ravens are up. They took a tight end in the first round. I think most of us did not expect that. So
yeah, they're just gonna pick Sterling Brown just to continue to confuse us.
Yeah, I feel like there's a few directions that Baltimore could go here, especially since they took a tight end with their first pick. I don't know. I think it's just more BPA. I don't think they're going to take an outside linebacker since they have Jones, so Haynes will continue to fall. Maybe we'll see Darren Manning go here. Because the next best strong safety after Manning at an 81 is a 76.
Oh, yeah, that's rough.
So if it's happening, that's probably what they want to do.
They do need a defensive tackle, but I'm not sure. They might be able to wait on that.
I don't know about that.
All right, looks like the pick is in. Pick is in. Let's go to Saluna, find out who the Baltimore Ravens have taken.
With the 4th pick of the 2nd round, the Baltimore Ravens select Sammy Muhammad, cornerback, Missouri. The St. Louis Rams are now on the clock.
Yeah, I kind of thought that they might do that. I don't know.
I don't know how I feel. It's just kind of like, eh.
All these like second-round picks are going to be kind of like whatever.
I'm sure there'll be one that we're just like, yeah, it's a really good pick, but I don't know about these other ones.
I think that's a good pick for them. Their corners were all 60s, so that's a huge upgrade.
Oh, Sterling Brown of the Rams, maybe? What do you guys think about that? Because I know that Brady Sapp's not very good, at least in my opinion.
I think they believe in Brady Sapp though. I think they really like him.
Yeah, I think they might do that, but I feel like Sterling Brown would actually be a pretty good pick for them. Because that would make them pretty lethal, especially if he actually does wind up being.
And if he gets hurt, you have Brady Sapp, so it's not like.
Yeah. That'd be a very good.
I don't know if I do that.
I don't know what their other needs are, though. I don't know if they have that many other huge needs.
I think they need a cornerback.
I thought that too. Oh yeah, because that one guy kept blowing covers, and then Time got pissed off during the Super Bowl coverage. Even though that's not necessarily factual, but
I would say
their corners are necessarily that great.
I'd say they probably go cornerback, although I don't know which cornerback they want to go with.
I mean, the top cornerback available is Polesfoot, and then you have Mo McMillan out of Virginia Tech.
I'd even call Kadeem Martin the best available, just because we know how good he's capable of being.
Yeah.
I think Keith Wells is pretty good too. I wouldn't put him on that level yet, but I do. I also like Keith Wells as well.
They could take a punter.
John Maslowski.
Unknown. He came from JUCO.
Yeah.
Well,
see, those are the interesting ones. But I just want to point out, I think John Maslowski benched as much as some linebackers did, or something like that, if I'm recalling correctly. The punter out of USC did that, so that's something. You just take that for what it's worth. He instantly became my favorite player in the draft after he did that.
Yeah. I feel like talking about punters in the 2nd round is.
Yeah, it's a little early, but. I just like talking about John Maslowski. I think we could throw him in every once in a while.
Just whenever it gets boring, start talking about Maslowski.
Yeah, just talking about John Maslowski. Punters are people too, guys.
Are they? Are they really, though? What if they're all robots?
Well,
sure, you can't prove they're not.
That Alabama punter might be a robot in real life.
I feel like we've run out of things to talk about, guys.
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like this might be the spot for Trent Haynes. I don't think the Rams linebackers are anything amazing, and I think he'd be a good fit in St. Louis.
Yeah,
I think they have a bigger need at defensive end, but the defensive ends are mostly go on the elite ones, so might be a reach to take McBride here or Stevenson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tom Henderson's still available.
I think they have a decent inside linebacker, though.
No one wants Tom Henderson. He's going to keep falling and falling.
They have Jim Bendros.
Yeah, Henderson's going to fall to the Dolphins.
Yep.
Probably.
It's just that's the other one.
They already have.
We're just going to keep. Who falls to the Dolphins next? That's what we should talk about.
The Rams only have one total corner on the roster. I think this could be Polesfoot or Kadeem Martin, depending on whose combine they like.
Do they have man or zone? Because I know a lot of teams usually like
to. Their only corner is man, but they only have one corner.
What's his rating?
69.
Yeah, no, that doesn't matter.
Yeah,
they can
so
do whatever here.
yeah, they could
I did.
do they could go for McMillan though. Although McMillan had a pretty meh combine compared to the other two.
Maybe they take the risk on Pulsefoot, the unknown. He's got fairly decent size.
Yeah.
Better than the other guy. Well, maybe not better than McMillan.
All right, looks like the pick is in. Let's go to the commissioner.
With the 5th pick of the second round, the St. Louis Rams select Gray Corbin, free safety, Nebraska.
Yeah.
The Cincinnati Bengals are now on the clock.
Yeah, that's solid.
He's
That's
159 pounds though.
Tiny.
Oh wow. Oh my God.
He's
How did? Oh man, no, that's
he is
bad.
he's 5'11", 159.
But he's by far the best free safety. But that is a horrible size. What the hell? That's like me sized.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
How is he playing football? Like that's ridiculous.
He's like the Kevin Durant of football.
The Slim Reaper.
He doesn't have injury risk, so I don't know.
That's
Maybe-
just weird, though.
Yeah,
Can
but he
tackle
also
people.
that also could mean he could be like really bad at tackling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the hell is going on there? He
Yeah.
needed to feed him some more corn up there in Nebraska.
If he meets Chester Henson in the open field, I don't think
They
he's
just
making
need-
that tackle.
They just need to give him some St. Louis barbecue and All right. Anyway, so that ends a run of 5 picks from the SEC in a row.
Well, the Bengals are already.
Bengals have already submitted their
they're
pick.
picking offensive line, probably.
So
Let's see what it
let's
is, though.
see.
I'm guessing to go center here.
Let's find
Yeah, that's
out.
what I'm thinking too.
With the
Cincinnati.
6th overall pick of the second round, the Cincinnati Bengals select Kevin Simon, center, Penn State. The Green Bay Packers are now on the clock.
Yeah, that's who I wanted to take. So good pick by the Bengals there.
Yeah, he's a good football player. I like Kevin Simon a lot.
Yeah.
I like what the Bengals have done so far in this draft, and
Yeah.
the trade before the draft.
Yeah, maybe the Bengals aren't so terrible anymore. Be scared,
Maybe
everyone.
Rapid was
Okay.
the issue
Yeah,
with the
that's
Bengals.
right.
Let's think about this. The Ravens have made some questionable decisions, so maybe Rapid was the problem.
Perhaps.
No offense to Rapid. I'm just.
I don't think you can say that after you just called him out like that.
But no, yeah, no, I don't. The Bengals have really done a good job, though. Maybe it's that new GM they hired, Feverful. He's solid draft from the Bengals so far.
How about that? Bengals hype.
Yeah, something you never expect from a broadcast with Jumbo on it.
I love the Bengals. What are you talking about?
Anyways, so who do we see going to the Packers? Yeah. Wait, did
They
they?
took a corner in the first round, right?
Yeah, I took Birch.
Oh yeah, Birch. I wonder if they go another Michigan man here with W.M. Mitchell.
Do they have? If they have
That's
zone,
my guess would be.
if they have zone, they could go for
I think they have man because I think I was looking at it in my mock. And I think they also scouted Mitchell, if my memory serves correctly.
I just feel like someone should take Trent Haynes. Like I feel like he's fallen too far.
Nah.
I don't know. I mean, the Packers aren't going running back, so could be a
Yeah.
receiver. I don't think their receivers are the strongest. They may want to help out Jason Johnson.
No.
Could be a safety.
If,
They maybe go for Manning to pair with Sizemore. I don't know.
Yeah, I think wide receiver would be a good pick. I don't think they have like a star receiver or anything like that.
They have what's his name, Wayne Wiegert. Although
Yeah.
I don't know how good he is.
he's a pretty good wide receiver.
That also made me realize there are 2 Wiegerts in the NFL. It's
Yep.
really weird.
I
Anyway,
did not know about Wayne Wiegert. Come on, man.
I
with the
wonder if
time.
they're related. Maybe Wayne Wiegert is the Packers' #1 white receiver, like real life.
That would not surprise me at all.
Yeah, they're brothers. I've decided it. They are now brothers. Anyway, I think the Packers are probably going defense here again. I just think their defense is probably too weak. Could be could be a receiver. Wouldn't surprise me, but probably defense.
Mm-hmm.
And all right. So let's talk about the first round quickly. Who do you guys think was the best pick of the first round?
Best pick in the first round. Ulysses Smith to the Browns. I really like that pick. No, my favorite pick was probably. Well, I think the best pick was probably Justin Davis based off value, just because it's Justin Davis at 24th overall, and I think he's probably the best corner in the draft. Well, one of the best corners in the draft. And then I did like the Saints pick of Jerry Miller, but that's just because I think whoever picked Jerry Miller got a good pick there.
Mm-hmm. I really like the Saints picking Miller, but I absolutely hate them picking Devereaux. So I think it washes out.
I don't think they should have given up on. I'm skeptical to say they should have given up on Kareem, because I do think Kareem. I think part of the issue was scheme for a while there, and I don't know if Bingo just has some quarterback issues or something.
Kareem did go to the Pro Bowl the first year.
Yeah.
Then again, so did Ontario Smith.
Yeah. I mean, Pro Bowl doesn't really mean much.
The year Ontario Smith went. Hold on. The year Ontario Smith went to the Pro Bowl, he threw 6 touchdowns and 7 interceptions.
Well, he ran in for a bunch.
Yeah, that's true, but 6 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. So, but that also could be because only 16 teams were in the NFL, and other teams threw out quarterbacks like Mike Hill. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Bengals O-line next year will look like 82, 84, 80, 77, 76, which is a vast improvement from last year. So they've been doing some really good jobs.
Mm-hmm.
They've been doing great in this draft.
All right, looks like the pick is in. Let's go to the commissioner and find out who the Packers have selected.
With the 7th pick of the second round, the Green Bay Packers select W.M. Mitchell, outside linebacker, Michigan. The Jacksonville Jaguars are now on the clock.
Boom, called it.
Yeah, I like that pick.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid pick for the Packers. So I think so they just keep going Michigan then. Guess there's some.
Yeah, I think that's the pick that had to be made, really.
I'm actually surprised again they didn't take offensive line. I thought that's a big need for them.
Well, the Jags are definitely going to go O-line, I think. Whether it's the guard or
they could go for Quinn Bauman, especially since they have Alan Taylor. They probably want to run blocking linemen. So, if I had to guess, this is the destination for Quinn Bauman.
Yeah.
Yeah, so who do you think... Because the Jags have 2 picks in the next 4 picks. Do they take 2 offensive linemen?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think
really.
that's.
I think you could pick Quinn Bauman and then pick an offensive guard, because I think there's 380 offensive guards, so you're definitely gonna get one of them.
Their guards are. There's like their whole inside of their line is just horrible.
Do they have a good offensive tackle?
Yeah.
They got Giamotto, but that doesn't count.
I don't think he's very good.
Yeah, he's not. That's why he's been traded twice in the past year.
Well, I think the problem with Giamotto is he's a run blocker, and people can play him at left tackle.
Oh, yeah, you know what, that might be right.
That's why he hasn't been as good. But maybe if as a right tackle, who knows, it might be a lot better.
Yeah, I think they go guard or center here. But I don't know what centers are worth taking.
Center.
I guess Sid Henson maybe.
Yeah, Sid Henson.
I don't know. I feel like Sid Henson's not... I mean, if you have an 81 offensive tackle, I feel like you'd take him over center.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when the center's not in the the 80s overall.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm not Tabor. Well, actually, no. They have a new GM now, don't they?
Yeah.
So we have no idea what he's gonna do.
It's like
it could be a fresh set of mindset for the Jazz. Is he actually here right now, or is Tabor still running it? Oh, no, Panther's here. But yeah, the Jags definitely need O-line help. I'm surprised. I'm pretty sure Alan Taylor's the most sacked player in the league last year. I'm surprised he survived that, especially with the injury concern already. I'm pretty sure if they don't help him out, he's going to die very soon. He's not going to be playing much. I fear for Alan Taylor's safety.
All right,
so
guys.
I think the Jags have to go.
Sorry to interrupt. Looks like the Sykes have selected. So, let's go to Saluna. Sorry.
With the eighth pick,
bunch of things at once.
With the 8th pick of the second round, Jacksonville Jaguars select Robert Rofe, guard, Michigan State.
That's a weird one.
The New York Giants are now on the clock.
I think that was a good pick.
You think so?
Yeah, he played for me, obviously, but if you look at his combine, I think he was the best guard of the one, or just based on combine alone. He looked like the best of the guards available.
I liked Robert Rofe. I thought he was a pretty good offensive guard. I think we named him all big last year. So yeah, he's a pretty good player for sure. I might have went offensive tackle with this pick and then picked one of the guards next or center here just because. I guess they could go guard. I think they might need that. I'm not exactly sure. I don't have the Jags depth chart up in front of me. But I kind of want to go. Who do you think the Giants go here? I'm thinking they might go Sterling Brown.
I think they
they're
did trade their running back.
Yeah, they don't have a running back.
Take a receiver here. They need somebody to throw to with Thomas Wheeler. They don't have that at this moment.
Yeah, that's definitely true too. But I don't know. I think I'm going to say Sterling Brown. Oh, the pick's in.
Let's go to the commissioner.
With the 9th pick of the second round, the New York Giants select Sterling Brown, running back, Texas. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are now on the clock.
Well, there we go. Sterling Brown. What do you guys think about that?
That was a good pick. I like that pick. That definitely. I mean, having him and Wheeler back there in the backfield, that's pretty good. That's pretty scary.
If he pans out, it's a good pick. If he doesn't,
I don't know. But I also really like Greg Haddon. I think he might want to be one of the better backs. That's just a random observation. But
I think he'll be a good pick for somebody later in the round. I don't think a lot of teams are looking for a running back. So.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't say here. I would have waited until like the third round and then taken Haddon.
He's
probably one wide receiver here.
Well, if you
Giants, but that's just
if you think the Texans were waiting for a running back and got screwed by Barry getting picked ahead of them, would you not just go for your guy?
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know who would draft a running back though.
All right, looks like the pick is in. Let's go to the commissioner.
With the 10th pick of the second round, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Tom Henderson, inside linebacker, Iowa. The Jaguars are now on the clock.
There's the guy we've been talking about for a while now. Finally goes up.
Didn't fall to Miami.
Thank God.
Miami doesn't need an inside linebacker, so.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a solid pick. First inside linebacker to go.
Central now. They have really good linebackers.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I don't think Henderson was amazing in college, was he? So he's just kind of there as the best inside linebacker, but that doesn't mean he's necessarily amazing.
Well, he did have a pretty good combine, I think. So
Yeah.
Not the strongest guy, but he's very smart. He can run your defense.
And I think he was pretty good in college because I remember when I did the Player of the Week stuff, his name would pop up a lot.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't know if he's amazing, but I don't think you can go wrong taking the best one available.
So the Jags are probably going to go offensive tackle here? Maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying Bauman's going to go for a while.
Yeah.
I think this is probably where he actually goes.
Yeah.
I need to chime in for a second. I think my draft order is completely wrong at the top, so I am currently in the process of fixing that for people watching.
Okay.
Go by the wiki, not by what the top of the players thing is.
Parts of it look okay. It's just like the next couple picks, I think. Actually, it looks fine. I don't know. None of those picks look wrong to me, unless I'm looking at the wiki wrong.
Yeah, it looks like it's updated.
Oh, sorry. The last time I had refreshed the wiki, it wasn't updated, so I was off by like 2 or something. Never mind. Ignore me.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. So, yeah, I don't know why the Jags are waiting so long.
Let's try to trade it down again. With the old Patriots technique, just keep trading down and pile up picks.
And then pick a bunch of terrible players and then do it again.
Win a Super Bowl.
And still win the division.
Yeah.
They haven't won a Super Bowl in 10 years.
Oh, that's true.
All right, anyway.
Just haven't won a Super Bowl in how many years?
Doesn't matter. All right, anyway. If the pick's not Bauman, who do you guys think it's going to be?
Sykes? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Sykes is pass blocking, right? And Bauman's run blocking. And if you have Alan Taylor, I'd be more concerned with run blocking anyway.
Does Jacksonville have a wide receiver or anything like that?
I think so.
Let me look here.
I'll take a look too.
Yeah, it looks like all they really need. I guess they just traded Joel Prince so they could go with a corner.
They have 2 average receivers.
Oh, they have Wesley Anderson and Buddy Heath. Yeah, those are both pretty average.
I think they'd probably go corner.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Jacksonville with Alan Taylor, I wouldn't be too concerned with receivers anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And we got the Panthers.
Come on,
so.
Jags.
What do you guys think about them?
I think the Panthers are still going to go defense again.
Yeah, that's what I'd probably say.
All right, looks like the pick is in. Let's see who Jags take.
With the 11th pick of the second round, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Dave Young, guard, Oregon.
So they went guard. Interesting.
I don't like this pick, if only because they could have had Bauman. Young is a pass blocking guard, and his injury risk is high.
Oh yeah, that's a little weird. I guess they did that off of size.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it a little bit, but with a high injury risk and Bauman on the board, I don't think you take Dave Young there.
Isn't Brett Pate available too? Why wouldn't they pick him?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's a weird pick. If he can stay healthy, it's a fine pick, but
I don't think there's anything wrong with having a one pass blocking guard either, especially with a guy like Alan Taylor who's good at both passing and running. So. All right, so we got the Panthers up again. It took 2 defensive ends in the first round.
Yeah, I think they're either going to go for a receiver or probably more defense. They could go for another lineman. I don't know.
If I were them, I'd go offensive lineman. Probably. You got to protect Skaggs. He's your franchise.
So, could they go for Brett Pater, Bauman? Bauman could be a really solid right tackle across from Tron.
I could see that.
Yeah, especially since they seem to have the tendency to load up.
I just have a hard time finding the Panthers team page, so it'll be at the bottom.
maybe they go with another wide receiver.
I wouldn't be surprised. They did ask me about trading for Mike Triplett at one point.
Mm-hmm.
So
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they pass enough, and the receivers have been serviceable enough that they're. I feel like they're just gonna wait till like the late rounds to take one more starting receiver. They'll probably get offensive line or defense. That's my guess.
Yeah, I think you're right. But you never know. Sometimes you just gotta feed Skaggs.
Yeah, which isn't always a bad idea either. Give your best player more weapons.
Yeah. I think they might need another running back.
I don't think they like running the ball, so I don't think they're going to pick a running back.
Yeah, I don't think they've run enough to know whether or not Russ Martin's good enough to be the running back.
And looks like the Panthers are still running the clock. Who do you think is the deliberation?
Is this where like Trent Haynes will go?
Maybe.
Yeah, that actually would make sense. They're starting Cal McNeil at guard or linebacker right now.
Yeah. All right. Looks like the pick is in. Let's go to Saluna.
With the 12th pick of the second round, the Carolina Panthers select Trent Haynes, outside linebacker, Tennessee. The Atlanta Falcons are now on the clock.
That's a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like
I've
it.
been saying Haynes should go for the last like 15 picks. So good for Carolina.
Yeah, it's a solid pick. I think Carolina's really wanting to improve that defense. Skaggs can do what he's going to do. Like, he's going to give them a chance to win every game. But their defense is losing them games. So no surprise if they're trying to beef that defense up. We're up to the Falcons.
All right. So Atlanta's up. Who did they take in the first round?
They took Akili Wallace.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So could they be? I know we've said linemen for the last forever, but could they be taking a lineman here?
Quinn Bauman's becoming the Kotar of this draft. Just keep bringing it up every time.
I thought the Falcons were going to take an offensive lineman early last year, and they didn't.
Yeah. I'll just say Quinn Bauman here.
Yeah.
That's what makes sense.
It could be defense. Could be defense.
Are the Bengals trying to trade up? Because it seems dangerous trying to.
All right, looks like the pick is in. Let's go to the commissioner.
Yep.
With the 13th pick of the second round, the Atlanta Falcons select Julian Sykes, offensive tackle, Boston College. New York Jets are now on the clock.
Yeah.
It's a solid pick.
Yeah, it's solid.
Yeah, I think Sykes is better than, or just on combine. His combine was more impressive than Bowman's.
Yeah.
He's and then you want,
if he's gonna be left tackle, then you want a pass blocker. I like that move. So that's a good job there by the Falcons.
I'll be interested to see how Javier Fields improves this year. Now that they got Akili Wallace back in the backfield, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, they got better as the season went on.
Yeah, they definitely did. They had a big winning streak at the end there that kind of screwed them out of like a good draft pick, but still, like they almost made the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were the first, like the last team to get a win, or actually, I think that was the Bengals, but
yeah.
they were one of the last teams to get a win. I think.
Yeah, I think that's right. Jets going wide receiver. I know Jumbo said he wants to get offense. Would it be like line help, or maybe Bauman goes here?
He's
been talking about him for long enough.
There's quite a few wide receivers on here that are falling.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if they take one. They took a receiver last year, and he was kind of disappointing. But then again, you had Coach Hart throwing to him, so maybe they want to get some more targets for their new quarterback. They definitely don't need a running back. So if they're going to go offense, it's either tight end, wide receiver, or tackle. I think. See, their tackles are 76 and 74. Their guard, they have an 88 guard and a 70 guard and a 70 center. So
Yeah, I don't think they go offensive line.
if they do go offensive line, it's probably a tackle.
Yeah, so it'd be Bauman. And I know Jimbo said he wants to do offense, so it's either that or wide receiver. But they drafted Medina last year, didn't they?
Yeah, they have Austin Medina.
But I guess they could use another wide receiver.
I think Austin Medina is more of a number 2 guy than a number 1.
And who's your favorite of the wide receivers left? Because mine's probably Umanura. I think he's probably the best one.
Of the 80s, I think
Yeah.
you're probably right.
I think
And I know a lot of people like Marlon White does.
I'm interested about Frazier. He's short, but he's a target guy. But he was really good in college.
Yeah, I don't really know what his college numbers were, but he could be like a Wes Welker kind of guy.
Mm-hmm. I would say him or Cap Christian are my two.
People love
Cap Christian did it with whoever Georgia Tech's quarterback is. It's not very good.
I don't think any of the tight ends are going to go yet. So
Yeah.
they have Charlie Wilson, who's actually an 80. So it's not something they need.
There's actually some good tight ends in this draft.
Let's hope Jimbo drafts Bauman.
If you're going to draft a tight end, I think the best one is Anthony Fasani, even though he's a 78.
Yeah.
The best.
I've liked Jake Schmidt from my time at Ohio State. He was always really good. That's just I have my own guy here.
Yeah, I guess I don't really know the stats of everyone, so.
Yeah, Schmidt never had great stats, but he was always solid. He's kind of like.
Thomas had really good stats when they had Thomas Wheeler, but
yeah.
Dick Cook, he didn't really produce that much. And I don't really know what Fasani's stats were, but they're the same size, almost identical. And I think Fasani had a better combine than Thomas.
Oh, and there's been a trade for the Jets pick. Is this pick currently that's happening or a different one? Yeah, okay, so the Rams have traded their second-round pick and a fifth-round pick for the New York Jets second-rounder. I feel like it's a little much for that pick. That's only to move up 9 slots, and they're giving up a fifth.
Yeah, I agree. That's a lot to give up for just moving up that little.
And who are they going to take?
They must fear somebody's going to... The guy that...
Oh, corner. Corner. I know exactly who they're... God damn it. I know exactly who they're taking. I've got a hint. I'm pretty sure we're about to see Kadeem Martin go off the board, and then I'm going to get pissed off.
They're jumping over you to get.
Yeah, we were actually trying to trade in front of you too.
God damn you bastards!
The pick is in. With the 14th pick of the second round of the 2016 draft, the St. Louis Rams select Isaiah Paulsfoot, cornerback, Tyler
thank
Junior
God.
College. The Cleveland Browns are now on the board.
Thank you, baby Jesus.
Hey, Dean, you want to trade that pick?
Nah, we're good.
I think this is going to be Kadeem Martin, guys.
I don't know. I
I have a
don't.
hunch.
Sorry, guys, my computer went completely haywire on me as I was trying to
That's
trade.
I don't know why you'd pick Paul's foot over Kadeem Martin. Honestly, that's a little questionable to me. I take
I
the
looked at
proven
both of them in the
commodity.
combine, and I actually would have taken Holzfoot over Martin as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's possible too. I really should have looked at Paul's foot.
Wait, so
But,
who did the Rams take with our pick? Sorry,
Isaiah Holzfoot.
Okay, that's not a bad pick. Yeah, I think I like it.
I finally see myself on the board there.
How long did it take?
Oh yeah, you haven't had a pick, have you?
Yeah, he traded it last year. By the way,
overall.
Do I need to update the wiki? Yeah. Who won 37th? Sorry, I've been it's insane. Right after Trent Haynes.
Who's the team picking?
It was
tackle.
Julian Sykes.
Yeah. Julian Sykes, yeah.
All right. So
Our
anyway,
pick should be coming in sometime soon. It's not really a surprise. This is going to be.
Sure, you don't want to trade that pick?
Sorry for blowing it early, but
Still a chance to trade it if you want to trade.
No, I'm good.
Yeah. I'm interested to see who you guys are going to take, actually.
All right, our GM was waiting for Storm to respond, so it's done now. He'll post it.
Okay, cool. Can you give us a hint?
I've given a hint.
Yeah, it's Kadeem Martin.
Could it be not Kadeem Martin?
Maybe. I don't know how you figured that one out.
15th pick of the second round, the Cleveland Browns select Kadeem Martin, cornerback, Penn State. Dallas Cowboys are now on the clock.
The Browns are only drafting Penn State players. That's our draft board, basically.
By the way, guys, I'm updating the wiki. Sorry about the delay. You gotta get it all in.
Think about all the best players. They're from Penn State, all right? So just draft Penn State players. That's the game plan.
That is why they won the national championship.
But they did. Oh. See what you did.
Except there's no Oklahoma players in this draft.
Greg had
I wonder where he's gonna go. Actually, he had a really solid end of the year.
Yeah, he really did. I think that's when Ted figured out how to game plan better.
Be it.
So Dalleroy Smart still hasn't gone.
Where do you think he's gonna go? Is he gonna go this round?
Maybe. He might fall to the third, or just to the Dolphins, just because why not? I don't think he'd draft him, though. I don't think Saluna went there. Maybe the Well, no. Did the Cowboys trade away their inside linebacker? I feel like they did.
Maybe thinking of the Texans.
Yeah, I think they did.
The Cowboys traded Arlie LeClaire in the second for Jeff Mangum. I don't know if that's the trade you're thinking of.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, so is LeClaire an inside linebacker or outside?
He's outside. He's outside. Both of the corners in that trade were outside.
Okay. So I guess they still have. So maybe they need an outside. Well, no, because they got Mangum. Never mind. That was stupid.
Yeah. So it looks like Bauman is indeed the Kotar of this draft. I guess that's what we found
Yeah.
out.
The Ohio State players will fall each year.
His combine was pretty though.
Yeah. He was like the only Ohio State guy to have a pretty bad combine, I'm pretty sure, because most of the other guys had really good combines. I think that's why they went in the first round.
Yeah.
Because I know it's like, first of all, DeAndre Hawkins had an amazing combine. And then Marvin White had a good one too. He hasn't gone yet.
Also, Marvin White is a really cool name.
Yeah. I know Danger gets mad at me for having him at wide receiver because he was apparently like a safety for TCU. But I'm not going to play a guy at strong safety just because he played that at TCU. Like, what do you expect from me?
I guess. All right, so who do you guys think Dallas is taking here? They traded up for Jace Brown last round.
Maybe Greg Martin or Josh Wilson.
Yeah, I could see him doing defensive tackle.
Yeah. Wilson's probably good. I think he's been overshadowed by
Jeremy Miller.
Miller. Yeah.
I think didn't he have a good year himself?
Yeah, he did. I think he had like 6'6". Because I know we were looking at him too.
Yeah, I mean that's not terrible for a defensive tackle either.
Yeah. Silence. Oh.
So, looks like we're still gonna. Sorry, actually, the pick is in. So let's go to the commissioner.
With the 16th pick of the second round, the Dallas Cowboys select Sid Henson, center, USC. The Atlanta Falcons are now on the clock.
I don't know. I mean, it's an offensive lineman. How much can we really say? He's probably maybe good, possibly.
Yeah, I was
he's a run blocker, so
looking at
helping
him.
out Von Abrams.
I might have taken him, so that was a good pick.
Yeah, I like that pick too.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear that Zatkoff and Simon were the top two centers, but I don't think Henson's that bad either.
No, he's definitely very talented as well. I think he's obviously a tier below, but USC's had a pretty good offensive line, and he's been a part of that. So that's a good pick.
All right, looks like Atlanta's third pick of this draft is up. They have drafted Akili Wallace and Julian Sykes. Do they go defense here this time?
I think they're going to take one of these defensive tackles probably, or maybe one of these outside linebackers that are still available.
Oh yeah, that's
Mr. Williams or Joe Palmer.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like there's no clear pick for Atlanta, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they run man or zone. If they run man, they could go for one of the inside linebackers.
They got two pretty decent inside ones.
Do they?
Yeah, Kay Anderson and Mike Bledsoe. They're not bad.
Okay. I don't know.
So
I feel like Atlanta just has room to improve at a lot of positions.
Oh yeah.
So they could go in a lot of different directions if they're not satisfied with whoever they have. If that makes sense. All right. So it looks like the pick is finally in, and we can cut this awkward silence and go to the commissioner.
Yay.
With the 17th pick of the second round, the Atlanta Falcons select Joe Palmer, outside linebacker, Ole Miss. Green Bay Packers are now on the clock.
Yeah, good call, guys.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't know how many more picks. How many guys do we actually think are like actually impressive to us? Like,
I don't know. I feel like
how many more picks we-
Joe Palmer is the first name that I've heard said that like I've literally heard nothing about. So I don't even know what to
Can't go
say.
wrong with Ole Miss linebackers. It seems like though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this pick for the Packers might be Bowman.
Every pick might be Bowman.
Someone's just got to pick Bowman, so we stop talking about.
Everyone is Bowman. All right, I'm gonna hypnotize the audience now. Pick Quinn Bowman.
Well,
someone
it's
picks-
just gonna be like an Ohio State player falls to the Jets every year, and a great player falls to the Dolphins every year. Is that gonna be the thing now?
Which Ohio State player have we picked?
Before?
Well, last year we picked Kotar. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be Bowman.
Who did we pick? Gotcha. I couldn't think of an Ohio State player we took the first year though.
I don't know if you did or not. I can't think of. I don't know that far
We
back.
signed an Ohio State player in undrafted free agency last year, but that's it. So anyway, Packers have gone defense both times, I believe. So do they go for another defensive player, or do they finally take offensive lineman Quinn Bauman?
Yeah, it's Bauman, right? Come on, let's go.
Bowman or Bauman or whatever it is.
It's Bauman.
Okay. Yeah. So.
Could also be Brett Pate.
Oh yeah.
I think everyone forgot about that guy. He's still on the board.
Yeah, he's. I don't know. Like I feel like it feels like he's been taken already. So.
Yeah.
Weird that he's still there.
Yeah, and he's a pass blocker. I think they're more of a passing team, so maybe they go with that guy instead of Bowman.
Is one of the players allowed to come out as gay so we can keep talking about them?
I believe Aaron Kotar came out as gay at one point.
Not C.J. Logan? All right. Anyway,
Marco, maybe.
Yeah, we should talk about C.J. Logan more. I feel like that's what the fans want.
All right, the pick is in. Let's go to the commissioner.
With the 18th pick of the second round, the Green Bay Packers select John Hinton, center, Michigan State. The Detroit Lions are now on the clock.
No one wants him.
And the Bauman free fall continues. We will be here around the clock until Quinn Bauman gets drafted.
Anyone have access to the song Free Fallin' right now?
Hold on, I'll pull it up. It's not worth it. It's not going to come across clear enough.
Yeah. I feel like it makes sense for Green Bay. I just think they should have taken an offensive tackle.
Hey, Lions.
A certain offensive tackle. A certain offensive tackle who went to Ohio State.
Yeah.
And he is run blocking.
And his name's not Matt Bogle, in case you're confused.
No, it's actually Quinn.
Wait, who are we talking about?
Bauman the third.
Yeah, so looks like Detroit is up. Who do you guys think Detroit might take? I guess we won't ask Slinky, but...
Well, I think I know.
CJ Logan here.
I'm pretty sure we got some threats for taking Kadeem Martin.
I don't
Someone's
know.
pretty pissed off about that.
I think they have two good corners already, do they not?
They've got Keyshawn, and I don't know if they have a great one after that. Maybe
just
pair him
feels
up
like
with his
the
buddy
difference.
Keith Wells. Keith Wells had a really good combine. Just
And he
saying.
did.
Could they use another wide receiver for Bright? When's the last time a wide receiver was drafted? The second over? No, wait, no. Kevin Branch was probably the last one taken, right?
Yeah, there's only been 2 taken.
That's kind of with all these wide receivers, you'd figure more guys going.
There's still 4 80s left, or 2 81s actually, and 2 80s. So it's kind of surprising.
Will the Raiders
Just
take a
had
wide
78
receiver?
center taken.
Wait, no,
Okay.
the Giants will probably take a wide receiver, though, right?
Yeah.
They haven't taken one.
If they wanted Bartos and these good receivers are left, they could be taking one.
I think they're taking Umanura if they're taking one, and the Lions pick is in.
Let's go to the commissioner.
With the 19th pick of the second round, the Detroit Lions select Quinn Bauman, offensive tackle, Ohio State. The New York Giants.
I'm so happy for you, Quinn.
Oh, thank God! I'm going to send him a congratulatory text now because he's been panicking. He's been sending me especially what's going to happen, Coach. And I was just like, I don't know, Quinn.
I'm so scared, Coach.
Hold
yeah,
me.
we couldn't not take Bowman right now,
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think we may have taken him if he'd fallen to us.
Apparently, we're worse than Bauman than Kuiper was without Manti Te'o. I mean, it's at this point, it's just because teams need an offensive tackle. He's the best guy available, and we're just that's the name we've had stuck in our mind. We brought him up too early, I think.
So now it's Walter Adair. Is that the one we're talking about?
Yeah, I think we're moving to Walter Adair. No, I think we need to move to wide receiver here. I'm gonna go Jim Umanura. Maybe that's the proper pronunciation.
It's Umanura, like OC.
Umanura. I like saying it my way though.
Umanura. Yeah, I feel like Frazier and Christian and Rogers and Umanura all are good, so I don't know.
One of them.
I think at least two more receivers will probably go in this round. I don't know where, I don't know to who, but
I'm gonna say the Giants and the Raiders. Yeah, we'll both pick. Yeah, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 picks left. I can count, guys. I think the Giants pick a wide receiver here.
I'd like to point out that there's actually 5 picks left, so Dean cannot count.
Oh, wow, that's embarrassing.
Congrats on the counting, Dean.
That's because 24 minus 20 is 4. I just forgot to do. I counted the picks after the Giants is what I did. I'm retarded. I'm sleep deprived. But yeah, I think the Giants and Raiders will both pick wide receiver, even though I'm usually actually pretty good at predicting what Alien does for some reason. Because last year I'm pretty sure I called him both pick. Well, I don't think I called him picking triplet. Actually, maybe I did.
Nobody called triplet. Nobody.
Yeah, triplet came
I did call Nick Hall though. I did call Nick Hall. So I did that right.
And we were trying to trade ahead of Oakland last year to get Nick Hall because we knew he was doing it, but
yeah,
still didn't happen.
Did not happen.
Yeah, I would have attempted to trade ahead of. I would have attempted to trade into the top 10 for Brian Brown. I know I've said that like a million times, but I would have tried to trade for Brian Brown if I'd been there.
I remember we got really excited as the Browns because Saloon was in front of us, and then he said he wasn't going to pick Brian Brown because he had Will Thompson. That'd be ridiculous. And I got really excited. So I was like, yeah, we're drafting Brian Brown. And then he picked him, and I was sad. And then we got Enoch, who's really good too, so, you know.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, he progressed like 6. Probably one of the best offensive linemen in the game.
It's honestly weird how so few of the first-round draft picks are, like, full-on busts. Like, the top guys are never really full-on busts, if that makes sense.
Jim Otto has been kind of a bust.
Yeah, but that's the only example anyone can trot out in 2 years.
Blake Shell so far, but it's kind of too early to tell.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Shell came along at the end. I think Danger said like he was just running the wrong scheme.
Yeah, I don't know.
Danger.
Shell, actually, I was looking back on it because I was like updating my college wiki page. Like my best game in like my entire time at Pitt, coaching defense was against Virginia Tech when Blake Shell was there. They only had like 100 total yards against me, which was weird because my defense isn't that good. Anyway, Giants pick is in. Let's see who it is.
With the 20th pick of the second round, the New York Giants select wide receiver Cap Christian, Georgia Tech. The Oakland Raiders are now on the clock.
I don't really like Cap Christian because I'm pretty sure he's not the best wide receiver on Georgia Tech, and that might just be because of like Tommy Potios or whatever his name is. But I don't think Cap Christian's had a good career.
Honestly, I think that's really unfair to Christian, just because Potios was a 5. He was a 5 out of 5 receiver in his sophomore year, so I understand why Trey made him his number 1 receiver. And Christian still put up 1,000 yards on a losing team, even if they passed the hell out of the ball.
Too. Not a very good quarterback either.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's unfair to call Christian bad just because he was the number 2 to someone on the level of Potios.
Well, no. I was just saying I don't think his numbers have been that great, even in that passing offense. That's why I'd be skeptical to actually take him. That's why I'm hesitant on Cap Christian at least. I always thought
he's good. I think he was like top 3 receiver.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I just thought, I like Human Euro. How do I? Yeah, is that right?
Human Euro is really good in college.
Although Donald Caldwell, he was probably one of my sleeper picks.
Caldwell is also really good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Richard Frazier is being also kind of underrated because he was good even with Jarius Jones. He still was really good in college.
Yeah,
I think people are scared. He's a 5'8" target receiver, and people are.
Yeah, it's just a problem with 5'8" target receivers. But then again, you look, he still had the second best vert of, I guess it's the third best of David Wells. So the third best vert of all receivers under Bartos. He had a good broad jump for a target receiver. A 4.5 240 is really good.
And I don't think target receiver necessarily means like red zone target, like jump ball kind of guy. I think it means more like possession than anything.
Yeah.
That's right. I think you're probably right about that. Huh.
I think people see target and they think like jump ball, throw it up to him, but I don't really think that's what it is.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you.
Oh, and Cap Christian actually is a pretty good wide receiver, but I'd still put Human Euro over him.
I don't know. I mean, Human Euro was really good in college, so fair enough.
Especially he also didn't have a coach either for a while.
Well, neither did Caldwell, and he still did well. All right, anyway, Raiders pick is in. Let's go to the commissioner.
With the 21st pick of the second round, the Oakland Raiders select defensive tackle Greg Martin, Ohio State. The Minnesota Vikings are now on the clock.
I like how my guys usually seem to go to like the same teams. Usually, like the Texans have been picking Ohio State guys. The Raiders now have a couple or 2.
Yeah. We almost actually took Greg Martin with our last pick.
Yeah, Greg's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean he had a good year in college. Although, I don't know. I think looking at the combines, I might have taken Josh Wilson over them, although it looks really close. I just like Josh Wilson's size better.
Wait, is Darren Manning still available?
Yeah.
What the hell? That's another kind of big fall.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing the Dolphins already have a strong safety.
Yeah. I don't think the Vikings do, though. They might take him. Because I'm pretty sure their secondary is just weak everywhere.
Yeah, I mean the Dolphins wouldn't take him anyway because they already have Darren Wilson, but
yeah,
he's still good.
Dane. Yeah, that's my prediction for the Vikings pick. I'm going to say Darren Manning.
Yeah, that would make sense. I don't know. What are the other options? Could they take like an offensive lineman? Could they take a defensive lineman? I know they're pretty weak in the trenches.
Maybe the Wilson out of Texas Tech.
Good. Well, they already took Nyland.
Oh yeah.
So maybe they don't want to take another defensive lineman.
That's possible.
Yeah, I think
Chester Williams.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they just traded away man-to-man guys, didn't they? Though, or was it zone guy? It was Magnum.
No, they traded away zone guys because they're trying to match up with Merrill, which is it's kind of a smart thing to do, honestly. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't have traded. I don't know if how I feel about trading a Super Bowl MVP. Because Mingham's very good, but I think they also got another outside linebacker in exchange. So I don't think they need a linebacker.
Yeah, they got Arlie LeClaire. Well, if you look back at it, I think LeClaire was above Mangum in the same draft class.
Oh.
So who knows?
It might have just been the Vikings' playoff progressions that make Mangum seem better.
I mean, it was clearly the Vikings' playoff progressions, but
Oh yeah. I don't know how their stats are though, because sometimes I think it might just be that too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like Giamotto progressed well.
Yeah. How much more time do the Vikings have? They have 3 minutes. We only have 3 picks left. Do you think Darren Manning could fall to the 3rd? If we don't want him and Miami probably doesn't want him, I don't know if the Vikings want him or not.
Yeah, he could definitely fall.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. He'll definitely go to round 3 if he's not taken here, I think. Well, do you guys want him? That's the real question.
We may or may not potentially want him.
Okay. So that tells us nothing. So wait, who all have you guys picked today? It's been Wiegert, and then you guys picked.
That's it. We traded down
Yeah.
Colesfoot.
Right.
So this is going to be our 2nd pick. Because we traded a few picks to get up, so we wanted to recoup pick, and we like that we got a pretty high 5th round pick to move down 9 spots. When really, I think we only would have taken a couple of players that have gone. The guy we really wanted went like a few picks ahead of where we went, so we just traded down. Huh. With a minute 20 left, what do you think Minnesota's doing? Are they debating who they're taking, or are they just being really slow?
I don't know, but Chin just said the pick was in the shout box, so.
I gotcha. All right, so let's go to the commissioner and find out who Minnesota took.
With the 22nd pick of the 2nd round, the Minnesota Vikings select Darren Manning, strong safety, Tennessee. The New York Jets are now on the clock.
Hey.
I you guys called that one.
I mean, he had to go eventually, right?
Yeah.
And the Vikings definitely need help, so it's not really a surprise.
Yeah.
All right, I'll be back in a couple minutes. We're discussing our pick. Discuss who we are going to take. Bye.
Okay. Let's not listen to Jumbo. He doesn't have to guide us. We'll just talk about other stuff.
Yeah, let's talk about the Dolphins.
Oh, sweetheart.
Who did the Jets take last pick? I forget.
The last pick was Wiegert. Regret.
He said earlier he was going to go offense, so it's probably going to be an offensive lineman. So Quinn Bowman.
Quinn Bowman's gone.
Who's the other guy still available? Walter Adair?
So got to be Walter Adair.
The Army guy?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Is that right? Is my memory correct?
Army guy for 1 year. That's it. Or
Yep.
2 years. He might have been JUCO. I don't remember. He was definitely JUCO. I don't remember if he was 1 or 2 years though.
The run block. Do they already have an offensive tackle that's good? Because then maybe they should go with somebody else. Well, there's not.
All right, we have submitted our pick.
Okay.
I think it could be. Well, they kind of need a center. They need a tackle. Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong roster.
23rd pick of the 2nd round, the New York Jets select Jim Umenyiora, wide receiver, NC State. Miami Dolphins are now on the clock.
Yeah, I thought that might have been it. That's a pretty good pick. I like it a lot. Jim's one of my favorite wide receivers. Might be my favorite wide receiver in this draft class.
Yeah, giving Wiegert some more weapons.
Yeah, I like it.
I think Medina and Umenyiora will be a really solid combo.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
Especially because Uyghur's never had those weapons really. Because at Wisconsin, he was just playing with mad guys.
Yeah,
So
their best
interesting
their
to
best
see.
receiver ever was like, I want to say it was like a 4.4. I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true, but that's what I remember.
Yeah, and so we wanted to make sure we could give him a good target to play with, along with Yumanura, since a lot of our team's already based around Corona running the ball. So I think it's a good pick. All right, this is going to be the final pick of today. Any idea where Miami's going to go with this?
I'm gonna say defense.
I don't think there's any true steal here.
I think they're going Josh Wilson or
You think
Brett
so?
Lee, one of those
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Josh Wilson.
Yeah, let's just all say Josh Wilson. I think that's the right pick here. He's a good player.
two. It could be
Yeah.
Brett Lee. They also have cards.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, we've said this for like every single team ever, but it's probably either offensive line or defense. I couldn't think of the word defense.
It's been a long draft coverage night.
Yeah, at some point I can't think of the word defense.
We're on our last legs here.
Yeah, at some point there's not much to talk about. But it's been a fun time covering.
Yeah.
Some interesting things happened in this first round and second round. Let's do this. Since we're on our last pick and we're waiting, what's the most questionable pick that happened? Go.
Oh, Danny Patrick, easy.
Yeah, Danny Patrick. Nobody else has picked a tight end, and he's easily available in the second round, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's also no tight end that probably even compares to him, though. He ran the fastest 40 of all the tight ends, too.
Yeah, that's true, but I still hesitate to say picking a tight end is a good call ever.
I still think the Saints taking Devereaux is. I mean, he might be a good player, but it doesn't make sense for them.
Yeah, it makes sense to a certain point. If you're definitely not happy with Kareem, if you don't think you're ever going to get there with him, and you think you can with Devereaux, and you want to make that move, I think it's a ballsy move by the Saints. We'll see if it pays off. I kind of like it. I kind of like the balls to say, because a team like Cincinnati is always going to be content with Blake Shell at quarterback, and it's kind of like the same thing with you see teams where they won't fire their head coach because they're just content with going to the playoffs every year, even if they don't make it ever to the Super Bowl. So I kind of like the move by the Saints. We'll see if it actually pans out. But
you could have gotten I don't remember who was on the board then, but I'm sure you could have gotten a good player. And Kareem Taylor, while he's not the best, isn't terrible.
I think Taylor's good enough to get a team to a Super Bowl if the team around him is good enough. But maybe the Saints just felt like the team around him wasn't good enough that he would ever.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, final pick of today is in. Let's go to the commissioner.
With the 48th overall and final pick of day one, the NFL draft, the Miami Dolphins select Josh Wilson, defensive tackle, Texas Tech.
hey, we did it, guys. Call it.
We're the best.
Best draft coverage team ever.
All right.
So, do we want to discuss anything for a bit afterward here, or just cut it off?
Who had the best day one?
I think maybe the Giants did just because they had all those picks. So let's look at who they actually got. Hold on, they got Curtis Lewis, Kenyatta Henderson. Then they drafted Sterling Brown and Cap Christian, if my memory serves correctly. And there might have been another one in there that I'm forgetting.
Yeah, I like that. I like what they did. They got two. I mean, I'm pretty confident Lewis and Henderson will be good.
Yeah.
I think you could take the risk with Sterling Brown, and then I think Cap Christian's going to be a good player too. I think they did well.
Yeah, I think they did well too, and I also think the Bengals did a good job, especially in comparison to last year when we were all just saying, "What the hell are the Bengals doing?" Bengals built up their own line. They made some good moves. They've got Blake Pyle and Kevin Simon now, and that's a vast improvement from what we've seen from them. So they will be better, at least on the offensive line next year.
I also like Detroit building up their O-line with Lamont Sheriff and Quinn Bauman. I think both of those were really good picks when the Lions made them. Both of them were probably BPA type picks.
great value picks there too. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Okay, and who do you think had the worst draft? I mean, like if you look at New England, they didn't have any picks. But
I wasn't amazed with what the Ravens did.
Sammy Muhammad's a solid pick, but I still think.
Yeah, he's a solid, but I still don't like Danny Patrick. It's more of a personal thing, I think.
I think personally, I didn't really like what the Rams did because to me they took a risk by taking Corbin. Gray Corbin, even though he may be good, he's so light that I think it's questionable. And then you add to that with another questionable secondary pick with Pole's foot.
Yeah,
you don't know anything about.
Up for, yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I thought I was entirely certain they had traded up for Kadeem Martin.
Yeah, that was. I mean, the only reason to trade up there was for Kadeem, in my opinion. I mean, Isaiah might be better, but he wasn't going to go there. I don't think.
Because I think I made a mistake in expressing my love for certain players.
Yeah, you told me earlier you wanted Martin, so I tried to get Sophos to trade up ahead of you.
Yeah. Thank God that didn't happen.
I think I'm unique in this, and I actually like what the Saints did.
I do too. I really like. First of all, I really love the pick of Jeremy Miller. And then, like I said, I like the guts it took to make that call to take Aaron Devereaux. Just because if you're not content with Kareem Taylor, now you may say Kareem's a good quarterback. He didn't have a good year last year. Whether that was the game planning, whether that was actually Kareem, they made a choice to make that change, and I kind of like that move.
The only thing I would say is questionable is if they were planning on moving on from Kareem, then why didn't they leave him in the expansion draft?
Yeah. I think what really happened was that they didn't expect
they could get more.
Fall. I think they thought Devereaux was going to be good.
Well, maybe they thought they could get more for Kareem too. But what I'm going to say is I like Jeremy Miller, and I'm not like a huge fan of Devereaux, but I think he'll be okay. And so, to me, if you're New Orleans, they're good picks separately, but I've said this before, I said it when it happened, you can't take a QB and then a defensive tackle. Even if you're going BPA, you just can't do it. I don't think the Saints team is good enough to do that on offense.
Yeah, in my opinion, they made one of the best picks by taking Miller, and then one of the worst picks by taking Devereaux. For New Orleans, it didn't make sense to me.
I'm very interested to see where Kareem will wind up, because I don't know if he stays. Also, to Rabbit, I understand Patrick. Well, no, I understand Patrick's a good wide receiver, but he will not be a 1,000-yard receiver on the Baltimore Ravens. That's not happening, especially with your quarterback play.
Maybe they will, because the QB class next year, as of right now, looks solid. Maybe they want a Dale. Maybe they want.
Yeah, maybe then, if they draft Touchdown Jesus too, yeah, I'll be a believer. But right now, I'm very hesitant in the choice.
I think
of
the worst draft so far is New England, who didn't have a pick.
Yeah. New England's just been awful. I don't know what the hell's going on there. They've just done a lot of.
Wait, how did they lose both of their first and second round picks?
Well,
they traded them to Houston, I think, and one was to Houston, and then I don't know what happened with the second.
Oh yeah, they got Willard. They got Willard Arnold, a fifth, and a sixth for their first, basically. So that's not too bad.
That's not bad.
Then they traded They traded their second and George Brady for Jake Bates and Sean Evans.
I don't like that.
I didn't like that trade myself.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a good trade for New England to me either. Oh, great. All right, I'm going to go into the wiki and edit all the trades in.
Okay.
All right, I think that
about wraps it up.
Yeah, all right.
Thank you guys for the draft board. The panel is pretty good.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Taking some lift off of me this year.
No problem.
See you guys tomorrow.
All right, so this has been day one of the 2016 NFLHC draft coverage. See you again tomorrow, guys.